Hey, Rob.
Hey, what's up, man?
I got a great idea for this week's episode.
Throw it at me. What do you want to do?
Episode 3.
No! Hello, and you're listening to You Still Going On About That with myself, Rob Israel, and
Joseph K.
And you can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, CastBox, and Podbeam. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it. Tell your mom about it. And while you're at it, we also have a Facebook page. You Still Going On About That. Again, like it, join it, comment, share it. And thank you and enjoy. I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
And you still going on about
that?
All right. Well, you ambushed me.
Yeah.
So I guess we have no choice but to talk about it.
It was my own little Order 66. Right?
Well, we've already talked about episode 1. Yep. We already talked about episode 2.
Right.
Best. We might as well finish the best trilogy in filmography history. The best,
right,
according to Russian troll memes that I see on Instagram. The prequel series is the best Star Wars movies. Better than any movie made, right?
Yeah, well,
they mean if you're a meme.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it did provide a lot of internet material.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Okay, so yeah, we talked about episode 1, we talked about episode 2, we talked about episode 3. So the funny thing is, with this podcast, we like to talk about movies that we like.
Yes.
And these movies are good movies. Some of them might have some flaws in it, but most of the time these are like B-A-list movies. They're solid films. We don't talk about like Adam Sandler movies like Jack and Jill or shit like that. I mean, we could do one, but it's like, I don't know, kicking a guy in a wheelchair down the stairs or something. I don't know. It's like, it's not fair. I don't like punching down. I like to punch up.
It is. Right.
But I like Star Wars. You like Star Wars.
Love Star Wars, yeah.
And this is part of the series. This is the canon. And we're going in order of all movies.
Yes.
We're going to talk about New Hope at some point in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Star Wars Episode 4, or as in Star Wars, the first one. I don't know.
Yeah,
confusing.
Yeah. It is.
Leading up to Episode 9,
right?
Rise of the Skywalker.
Yes, and I think that I'm very excited about that. You're right. Like we never said these are our ground rules for making the podcast, but early on we kind of said we're only going to cover movies we like. We kind of agreed we're not out here to bash films.
Yeah.
And but this, geez. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 are a little unusual in that I both love them and
I don't love them. I don't.
It's hard.
It's like they're family.
Yeah,
they're
right.
Family, It's like you get to see them at a reunion.
Yeah,
you get to see them. You're probably not going to call them. You're not going to seek them out.
Yeah.
If you bump into them in a parking lot, you might have to talk to them for a couple minutes.
Right. Yeah, look, I guess here's the thing. If it's Saturday and I'm flipping around channels and
Cousin Episode 2 shows up.
Yeah, and Cousin Episode 2 shows up, then I'm going to linger for a little bit, depending on the where it's at in the film.
Right.
If there's something better elsewhere, I may keep going if they're showing a rerun of The Thing, with a young Kurt Russell, flamethrowering a half dog, half alien thing. Then I may go on to that. But I have a great deal of affection for all things Star Wars.
Yeah.
These included. They're not great movies. They're very puzzling decisions. Yeah,
they're half-ass attempts in most parts. I will say, if you were to describe the prequels, Episode 1 is like that annoying kid in your you're like a very annoying cousin's kid.
Yes.
Episode 2 is that annoying cousin.
Right.
And Episode 3 is his racist dad. That's your uncle? I don't know.
Yeah, there's Uncle Dad. That's
Uncle Daddy.
Yeah, I don't geez.
I'm not saying Episode 3 is racist, come down.
Right.
Even though a lot of people do get killed.
Yes.
Based on what they are.
Well, I think that's one of the nice things about episode 3 is they tempered any weirdness they had with like Trade Federation stereotypes and like bizarre.
Well, that was
stuff.
episode 1,
right? But by the time they hit 3, they'd kind of weeded that.
All those
out,
accents were gone. You did not hear
right.
that. Prince Amador. All those were all flushed out with just younglings getting killed.
It's a relentlessly grim movie. It really is.
It's a bizarre film. I took a bunch of notes for it.
Yeah.
And
well, you took some pretty copious notes, and we're going to use that as kind of the outline for our discussion.
Yeah, and we'll branch out, but
sure.
I try to So what's funny is I watch these movies. I've seen these movies a bunch of times, and usually especially over the years. I mean, they're already last one came out in 2005, so that's almost 15 years ago.
Yes,
it's 2019. I mean, freaking episode 1 is 20 years old.
Yeah, that's
which
crazy.
Is insane. Totally nuts.
Yeah,
I would never think that, and which just makes you feel old, right?
It does because that yeah, it does.
So, and honestly, episode 3 was a movie we wanted to see. I mean, at the end of the day, episode 1 was always the bastard child. We were just
right.
What is this? It was a disappointment all around. I know there's these episode 1 apologists and.
Right. Well, look, episode 1 was the movie that no one asked for. If it had been framed as a young Obi-Wan movie, that people might have been interested in that.
I think people would have asked for it if it was good.
Yeah, but no one said. But look, people said, "Hey, what were the Clone Wars about? Hey, how did Vader get put in that suit?" All the questions they had were episode 2 and episode 3 questions.
Right. And that's why
no one
people
was
say you could just skip 1 altogether.
Right.
I don't agree with that, but I think at the same time...
But no one asked, hey...
You could definitely, like you said, you could squeeze 1 into 2. And,
yeah.
I mean, it could just be a little background thing.
Did Darth Vader used to enjoy pod racing? No one asked that.
People be like, what's pod racing?
Right.
It never gets brought up again.
Yeah.
And the only time you see pod racing is in episode 2 in the bar in the background.
Yeah.
No one ever says... Oh yeah, when I used to do pod racing.
Right. It's completely unessential.
It really is. I mean, Darth Maul's never brought up. If Darth Maul was a villain that was throughout the whole series,
right,
comes back in episode 2 with cool spider legs, or something gnarly like that, that would have been fucking sick. Imagine if they're in the arena and instead of dumb monsters, Darth Maul with a freaking spider legs comes out,
or Darth Maul,
and they saved that.
Yeah.
What?
See that? Well, I was thinking of a Darth Maul top on an R2-D2 bottom.
That would just be stupid.
No, it'd be terrifying.
Spins around,
right.
Terrifying. Yeah, okay. One of the most harmless looking things.
Yes.
There was very few things that carried over from 1 into 2 that made it essential. Obviously, what happens in 2 carries into 3 really well.
Yep. 2 and 3 are the real 1, I guess, shows the birth of the political stuff, but 2 and 3 go heavy political.
Well, they're not even political. It's more of just what matters to the actual.
Sure.
At the end of the day, the problem with the movies right off the bat. I think the problem with just any prequel in general. I think it's very hard to make a prequel.
Yeah.
What's funny is I was a good example is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know until years later there was a prequel.
Right, that was years before.
But it didn't matter. Yeah. It was just it was the last Temple of Doom was not affected by Temple of Doom, and Temple of Doom was not affected by.
Right.
It was almost just an entry.
Two separate.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like a serial. It's like a serial, He's like a character, Indiana Jones should be a type of character that you can write, have a different writer come in and do a series. You could put him in different adventures.
Should be like a James Bond.
Yeah, exactly.
You could put a new actor in, theoretically.
Yeah.
I mean, Harrison Ford is
right.
iconic.
But he is that type of character. It's it doesn't have to follow the rules. But when you say a prequel to Star Wars and you're saying this fits the Skywalker saga,
right?
You're following different rules, and then prequels. That's where prequels are hard to do because, especially when you make a prequel 20 years after the original ones.
Yeah.
And technology has changed. How movies are made are changed. How audience perceive movies has changed.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to make this movie, and I got to put the best modern day special effects.
Yep.
But they have to fit in with my original movies. And I went in my original movies and added some cosmetic changes.
It's kind of a mess.
Honestly, it's not a big deal. If the movies were awesome, no one would give a crap.
Right.
If these movies were amazing, if these movies checked all the boxes, then
yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I think episode 3 probably comes the closest to checking all those boxes. But I think the bar was so low.
Yeah.
By the time episode 3 came out.
Well, the bar was lowered, and they had learned a lot of lessons.
But at the same time, they learned none.
What?
They really did. They learned none at the same time because lazy direction, not art direction.
Yeah. Well,
I think they did a really good job of like designing aliens and characters. I think one of the critiques people have about the new Star Wars movies, episode 7 and 8, is that they are not as creative looking. I think they are filmed better. I think they look better cinematically.
Yeah.
They're directed better. Visually, they're better. The way things are shot are better. Different type of aerial shots, and it's not shot like a shitty soap opera. Like episode 3 is like a shitty soap opera.
A lot of it, yeah.
But I feel like the art departments and stuff, there's more imagination in the prequels, and I think I've heard this argument from other people say this too, that they feel like the aliens look better. I will disagree on some things. I think the battle droids suck. I don't understand why. Like, the first thing I would have done in the prequels was like, fine, you want to have like shitty battle droids in episode 1?
Yeah.
On episode 2, you phase out those. I mean, if you're like a company that's making battle droids anyway,
right?
And it takes place 10 years later.
Yeah.
Why would you use the same shitty, useless battle droids? And then they had some new ones, but just use those.
Yeah.
And like that's a battle droid 2.0, and then
because
you have battle droid 3.0, and they're actually a threat to the Jedis.
Because they didn't. It's not like they had leftover battle droids. I mean, these were all CGI new creations. I mean, they could have gone.
I mean, they showed how they were made. Their factory was making them. They went to the planet in episode 2. That's where they were like designed, and I kind of thought that was cool in episode 2, where you see the bugs. It's like they were almost like modeled, like the shape of the heads, and they were modeled off those. I thought that was kind of a cool little thing, a cool little like detail. But I just never understood why you would even like think about like any type of company. It's like if Apple was making the same iPod, even though some people
10 years
claim they are, they're not. They're making very different things in 10 years, and I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't.
No. It looks. Look, by the time they hit episode 3, a lot of things were clicking. Now, you and I talked. We were texting last night, and I said the copy I watched was a little muddy, and the art in the background, it was kind of washed out.
Well, the lava scene's pretty bad.
Well, you said, look, I'm watching it on Blu-ray, and I was streaming.
Close.
Yeah, I streamed it on Amazon, and I was watching clips on my phone. And so, anyway, you said, look, it's sharp as hell on my Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So this morning, I watched a few clips on the Mac upstairs, a nice computer.
Yeah.
And you're right, they are very.
I mean, it's definitely the special
sharp.
effects are. You could see even the improvements in the 3 years from episode 2 to 3. But again, it still looks like video game cutscenes. It still looks like the actors are not in most of the scenes. It looks like they're in.
Well, there's.
I feel like there was more real sets in this one than episode 2 had. Episode 2 just looked completely fake.
Yeah, episode 2 looked, and I think it was like 90% or so CGI. This one looked like it had some real set pieces. But there's this one scene, I think it was actually right before they executed Order 66 or whatever, and it's Order 66, right? Yeah. And Obi-Wan is on the back of a creature, and a clone trooper is like, hey, let's go fight these robots or whatever. And Obi-Wan's like, yes, we'll give. And then
that creature that goes,
right, but it's so clearly like CGI'd in. It's like, and it looks shady. I mean, it's not super
integrated enough.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not there yet. 10 years later, that seemed like a million times better.
Oh, yeah. It looked I remember seeing it in the theater and thinking, like, this is so amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the creature is amazing looking.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing. I think there's, like, really good direction. I think that's the other thing, too. I feel like people claim, like, the planets, and that's the other thing, too. The planets and the new ones have no imagination. Like, that's one complaint I saw about Episode 7 was, like, okay, the first planet's just like this desert planet. I do love the ships, like the graveyard of the ships. I thought that was awesome.
That was beautiful.
That was amazing. But, like, you know, then they go to, like, some forest planet. And they're on, like, some forest. Now they're on, like, that. What was that thing called? It wasn't called the Death Star.
Oh, yeah, the Star Killer or something. Yeah, right.
And it was like if Hoth met.
Yeah. It seemed real Star Trek-y to me.
Like they just didn't have like those exotic, crazy planets.
Right.
An episode, all the prequels they met that. They had the crazy planets.
Yes.
They met, like, I feel like that's where they excelled. I think that's where they, like, people I know talk shit about Coruscant. Coruscant's cool looking. And by the time episode 3 came out, I mean, like, I want that view from Amidala's
penthouse.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, that is primo
home
real
to
estate.
Some really terrible scenes, but yes, a beautiful view.
Amazing. Yeah, ignore that. Look at the background's amazing.
Right. Beans don't burn on the grill up there. It's like
beans don't burn on the grill.
What is it? Fish don't
fry?
Fish don't fry in the kitchen. Beans don't burn on the grill.
That's funny. That's some...
Yeah, some Jefferson's trivia here.
Okay. So...
Yeah.
Beans burn on my grill. I guess I'm just a low-class piece of shit.
You know, when we were in New York last, I tried to find the Jefferson's building, and I was unsuccessful. But
that's because it was not real. It was a TV show.
No, well, it had
the
exterior of the building. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, but like even like some of the planets, like I said, you got to see like a Sheik.
Yep. I wanted to see that. I mean, I'm not sure I wanted to see it the way it was in that film.
They didn't. They just crammed it in. It was such like not. I know they could say I hate that term when I say fan service. It was fan service, but it was just crammed in. Like they didn't, like they. I remember seeing the first teaser for episode 3, and they showed the Wookiees, and they're all like, holy shit, this is going to be the best movie ever.
Right.
All the Wookiees, this is what I wanted in Jedi.
Yes.
Said they replaced them with little teddy bears.
Right, yeah.
And then instead, it's just like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and it's very depressing.
Yeah, but I just think they do, I just feel like there was more imagination on those worlds. And I think the new movies fail in that, and I know we're not talking about we're talking about this movie.
Sure.
I'm trying to just like point out positives because
some negatives are coming.
I'm going to start raining shit. It's going to be raining a lot of shit soon. So I just want to point out. I think art direction. There's more to it. I feel like it definitely expands on the Star Wars universe. I mean, I think Episode 1 had some stupid looking aliens, but overall, I think like even like some people love and hate the pod race scene. It still felt very Star Wars.
It definitely felt Star Wars. For good or for ill, it felt Star Wars.
Yeah, like that's probably the best part of the movie, which is funny. People are like, "What the hell is this?" But at the same time, that is one of the best scenes of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Even like
that is a damning indictment of the movie, though.
But it's really good. You actually feel tension. You actually, even though Anakin's not going to die. Anakin's not going to die in this, and he's not going to lose the race.
Right.
That is probably one of the things where I actually felt tension.
Yeah, there's stakes.
There's like, Sebulba was a douchebag. I mean, it was basically Wacky Racers, the cartoon Wacky Racers. But it was done well. And like the way they would show like the people, the different flags, and like all the.
It had some pageantry. Yeah, it was cool.
And
it was
you
cool.
see like the sand people like shooting people to fuck with them. That was awesome.
It did. It felt like a real lived-in world. I guess you're right. I will say that.
So one of the things I always thought was funny in episode 1 was there's like a scene, and they introduced this character for 1 second. They made an action figure about her, and they said that she was going to be this big bounty hunter. She shows up in Clone Wars, but she's in this one scene. She's looking over the pod race. And you could tell, like, okay, they wanted her to be something.
Right.
You don't just have, like, a random...
Yeah.
They took time designing her.
Mm-hmm.
Aurora Sin, I think her name was, or something like that.
Okay.
And she was, like, this white, weird-looking character, long arms. She had, like, she kind of bald, but she had a big red ponytail.
Right.
Kind of like an antenna. It was weird. It's like...
Boba Fett. I think she was in a video game, wasn't she?
She's been in stuff. She was in Clone Wars a lot. She showed up in Clone Wars a couple of times, but that's years later. Everyone thought she was going to be a big part of Episode 2. And she'd be a big part of Episode 3. Nope, didn't show up. It's like the same thing, Episode 2. You get Episode 2, you introduce Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And you do nothing to pay that off. And then Episode 3 comes along, and all these elements from Episode 1 and 2 have no payoff.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird in that aspect. Okay, so let's just get into Episode 3.
Yeah, Episode 3.
So right off the bat, one of the things I always thought was kind of funny was the crawl in the beginning.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find Episode 3 crawl.
Well, as you track that down, we talked about this briefly, and it's a puzzling crawl. The crawl's a great Star Wars tradition, and it's a kind of a cool thing. But the crawl here is a little unusual. What's the quote?
War. The Republic is crumbling under attacks by the ruthless Sith Lord Count Dooku. There are heroes on both sides. Evil is everywhere. Yeah. Okay, that makes no sense. First of all, evil on both sides. Well, did Donald Trump write this?
Yeah, it does seem like
Let me tell you, there's good people on the separatist side. I'm telling you. Right. I saw bad people here, and I saw good people here, and there were good people there, and there was good people on the other side, too.
It seems weird. Like, really, you should be rooting for the Republic, right? I mean,
yes. I mean, it's like, in the end of the day, even though the joke was, in the end of the day, Republic were the bad guys, too.
Right.
Everyone was the bad guys. I guess, is that, like, the thing? Evil is everywhere? Because, like, it's like... The reality was the Jedi were kind of fighting themselves because they were going against their own better nature by empowering this evil emperor that was...
This looks like... Look, if you have to... And I agree. If you have to explain it with, like, 3 or 4 paragraphs of context, then maybe it's not a super well-written crawl.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that's true. It's like anything else. It's like, you know, when people say, like, especially with Star Wars, it's like Star Wars is one of those weird examples that gets away with, like... Or some fans will be like, "Oh, well, in the book I read this," and it's like, "No,
well,
no." End of the day, it's the movie. It's the movie, and if you can't get it right in the movie, you did it wrong.
Yeah,
fine. The book's fine, but that's not.
It's not perfectly fine to have things that you wonder about and puzzle about and everything. But like, look, the crawl exists to catch you up to speed.
Yeah,
it should be a very okay. So yeah, it's a weird crawl.
Okay, so right off the bat, you introduce this kind of a cool scene. It's like a battle scene on top of, like a big giant spaceship scene on top of, like, Coruscant.
Yes.
And Luke and Anakin and Obi-Wan are flying in. You see their ships, and they're on a rescue mission.
Yep.
And the first thing that happens to them is they get these stupid little... scrapper droids on them, and they start like fucking with the ship. Like, I don't know, they have to like add tension and do all this stuff.
It's kind of a cool scene. I mean,
it's cool. But
I like how it throws you right into the middle of things, and you quickly catch up to speed, and you're like, oh, okay, it felt like you're starting with momentum.
Anakin literally has to tell the audience that this is where the fun begins.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Right.
I wish you just look at the camera.
Yeah.
Kind of like in Spaceballs, when John Candy looks at the camera and goes, funny, I didn't know she was Jewish.
Yeah.
And he looks at the camera while he says it. Right. It's kind of like the same thing. Anakin should have been like, funny.
Yeah.
This is where the fun begins, guys. Don't worry. You won't need to drink that much Coca-Cola to stay awake. So some of the things, I jotted down a bunch of notes. And a lot of it's just like garble. But one of the things I noticed, and we talked about this, and I think the original trilogy does a really good job of like, some of it could be due to limitations of special effects back then.
Sure.
But like, you knew Jedis were special, and you knew they had abilities. They could lift up things. They could run fast. They could do all kinds of, they had lightsaber ability and lift rocks and shoot lightning. And which is funny though, because in the end, they never said that the Emperor in Return of the Jedi was a Jedi.
Well, yeah,
they don't. He's not referred to as a Sith Lord. That word was never used. He's not even called Sidious. He's called Emperor Palpatine. He's never called Sidious. I'm trying to remember when he gets called Sidious. I swore that word was used before episode 1. But I think it's not till episode 1. I remember buying the action figures,
right,
like a schmuck, and one of them was, I'm like, this looks like the Emperor, but it says Darth Sidious.
Well,
and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Okay, now that's an interesting point, because I would think, because when the very first, in episode 4 in Star Wars A New Hope, I always got the feeling, and we've talked about this before, that Vader was like an outsider.
Yeah.
He was a Sith. He was kind of a mystic figure.
And they say the Emperor, but it could be anything. I mean, it could just be like a guy who's in charge.
And even the Imperial officers and Grand Moff Tarkin and whatnot, they were like, we're not sure why the Emperor tolerates your nonsense, because there's some sort of kook Rasputin type of figure.
Yeah.
But whatever. And I would guess, I don't know this, but I would guess that Palpatine, he had to maintain his persona of the Republic era Palpatine.
Instead of being a creepy guy in a black cloak, he's like, I don't want anyone to know that I have powers. That would be weird. I'm just going to be a big gross creep.
Yeah. He couldn't say, oh yeah, BTW, I'm also a Sith warlord and surprise. So he had to kind of always be...
Oh, you're just a creep in a robe.
Right.
But now I can't. I'm out of here.
So that would make sense that no one ever referred to him as Sidious or whatnot. He was Palpatine, the same old lovable Palpatine.
Even in the original trilogy, even in Return of the Jedi, I mean, I kind of was like, is he a Sith Lord? I know he could do that lightning.
Yeah.
But there's never any reference to him being a Jedi.
That's true.
Never. I think but I mean, Darth Vader does say things like, he could teach you.
Right.
He could do this. So obviously he was some kind of master of something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's not... What?
Well, why would... I mean, this is kind of off topic, but why would Vader try to bring Luke aboard when there's only 2 Sith?
Well, that's the thing. I think he was hoping to kill... He wanted to kill
Vader.
Palpatine.
Always wanted to kill Palpatine. Well, then what was Palpatine thinking? It was Palpatine.
Well, it's kind of like how when Palpatine it's like when Palpatine first finally reveals. I mean, we all know he's going to be fucking evil.
Yeah.
But first time he reveals to Anakin when they're watching like the weird opera, and he's like, "Leave us," and then he talks, and it's like, okay, he's not this guy anymore. And he starts talking about Darth Plagueis the Wise, and starts talking about tricking Anakin into like how you could create life and all this different things, and then he's like, and he goes, not any Jedi, and then the scene changes,
right?
But
the Sith have like an organizational.
But
problem.
Remember, he said that Plagueis was killed by his apprentice. Right. It's like this weird... It's like, okay, I'm a Sith now. All right, cool. I'm going to go kill my master now.
Right.
But now I have the weird urge to go get an apprentice.
Right. Who will
probably going to kill me if I don't kill him first.
Right.
It's like a weird cycle. I think it shows why the Sith doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because of that insane cycle. It's almost like... It's like a bizarre... like. Even though it's not mating, but it's like almost like a praying mantis that like bites the head off. Right. Like, all right, I'm down with you. And now it's like, now I gotta go get this. And then the cycle
it doesn't
starts
lend
over.
itself to expansion.
Well, but the only thing was to say, like, maybe that's why the Sith's so much more powerful, because it's almost like they're just keeping their power to just 2.
Yeah.
But then, like, you get into, like, and this is why I can't stand it. Like, as much as I like reading the comics and all that stuff, but, like, we start getting into the expanded universe and all this stuff, it's like, they want to create more toys, they want to do this, so they come up with these new things, like, the Sith have these, like, they're not Jedis, but they wield lightsabers and they're, like, basically Force users. And I'm like, that's a Jedi!
Right,
it's like, no, we call them something else. And I'm like, okay, that wasn't in the movie, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll get back to 3. You kind of jump into the middle of things with Anakin.
Right, yeah, so, like I said, how come the Jedis can't just knock... That's what I was saying about their powers. It makes no sense. It's like their powers are only what the plot suits it to be. So, like I said, in the original series, their powers are like used in a way that you never go, oh, how come Luke can do that? He did that before. But in these movies, it's like they're doing like insane things sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the funny things was like in episode 1, there's a scene when they're Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan do this like quick dash, and you see it from a distance. Like, so fast.
Yeah.
They never do that again.
Yeah.
They can't do it. It's like written. It's like their powers only make sense. They have these like insane superpowers, and you could say this about like any movie. I think maybe Marvel does a pretty good job of not doing that.
Sure.
Well,
you're right, because they do temper the hero's powers
depending on the plot. Like,
yeah, But yeah, look, you had and I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but you had Jedi that were seemingly unstoppable, that could literally bring down starships.
Let's say that.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
That's like, it's bad. Okay, so I was saying those stupid little droids. How come how come Obi-Wan couldn't just take his little hand while he's flying the ship and just wave it,
flick him
and
away,
knock those fucking droids off like they're just little bugs?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you can't, because then you don't have that scene. I mean, is there? I'm sure there's a book or some.
I mean, I guess
says that Jedi powers don't work in space, which
well,
then Leia floats in episode 8.
Well, maybe they needed to concentrate on flying or whatever. Whatever. But like, it's a weird.
Oh, I chose. Yeah, they crashed. They're like, I shouldn't have wasted my time with those bugs. But if I didn't get rid of the bugs, it would have made me crash.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, again, this is nitpicking. Okay, so then they get onto the ship. It's kind of like, it's probably I think this scenes in the beginning are probably the best part of the movie. It's like the most adventure feeling. I think it's like finally they're getting it right. Anakin's not a little brat anymore.
Nope, they're working as a team.
They're working as a team. He seems like he's more mature now.
Yep.
Obi-Wan's hair's shorter now. It's like getting closer to what he looks like in episode 4. And then, so they got to do their shit with the elevators. They fight battle droids. There's a funny scene with R2. I thought it was really awesome. R2's really good in this movie.
Oh, yeah,
the scenes he has, like when he's fighting those big power and he like lights them on fire. And he sprays oil. That's like a funny ass scene. Oh, I love when Obi-Wan's like talking and it's like on the loudspeaker, unfortunately, and R2's he's just hiding. It's like, you asshole, shut R2, help us, and he's just like, it's like that Homer Simpson meme where he goes
into the bushes.
Yeah. So then they get to the scene where Palpatine's in the chair.
Right.
And he's being held captive, but it kind of looks like Return of the Jedi a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. It does.
And so in walks. So they're there and everything, and I guess like Palpatine says something like, "Oh, you better turn around, look," and then here comes Dooku,
right,
with his. I think, is he by himself? He's with some droids or whatever.
Yeah.
They take out the droids real quick. Dooku does this cool flip down.
Yes.
Clearly a CGI stunt double.
Yeah.
It's like Christopher Lee's
probably not Christopher Lee himself.
No, I don't think Christopher Lee did the flip. I'm positive. I don't think anyone did that flip.
Yeah.
And then his head bounced off. It like came back on. It was like... and I'm going to... So, Dooku, it's like the rematch.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because, younger people who like these movies, I think they really like these movies because of the Clone Wars series.
Yeah, I think the Clone War animated series brought.
I'm not talking about the little one. I'm talking about not the little snippets. I'm talking about the CGI one.
Oh yeah, right.
And then Darth Maul and all
that.
It's like, I think people like those characters more because of that expanded storyline.
Well,
and but like Dooku, it's like, again, that's why I hate sometimes these like in between things and these like series or a prequel within a movie, because it's like, yeah, if you watch the cartoon series, let's say you watch the cartoon series and watch the movie, you would think like, okay, they fought Dooku tons of times, but no, this is the direct sequel. Dooku is that's like Dooku has never seen Anakin and Obi-Wan since he kicked their ass in Episode 2.
Right, and it should be a very big climactic scene right at the beginning of this new movie, which is kind of a cool. Yeah. Normally you'd wait till the end of the film to see this, but you're seeing it right away. Right, and again, it's like Christopher Lee is getting the shaft, just like he did in Return of the King. Yeah, right. Yeah. So he knocked. Well, they this time they learned to attack together. Yes. And then he takes Obi-Wan, kicks his ass, and I'm like watching that scene when he like drops like the metal thing on him. Yeah. And then like lands on him. I'm like, how did that?
He should be dead. Like, I looked like I crushed him.
Yeah. Okay, but...
So he fights Dooku, Anakin.
Yes.
And it's like reminiscent to Return of the Jedi a bit. With
It is.
With not Emperor yet, Palpatine in the background. And then Anakin cuts his hands off, and then he's got both. It's kind of cool. He's got the red saber now because he steals Dooku's saber,
right?
And he's got the blue saber, so it's like he's at like a crossroad, and like they're crossing, which is kind of cool.
It's a very beautiful scene, like visually.
Symbolic. It's like he's at the crossroads now, and like Emperor's like, "Do it," and then he thinks about it. He's like, "No, this
unarmed prisoner or whatever." Yeah,
and then he cuts off Dooku's head.
Yeah.
Now, I will say Count Dooku to me. Again, this is why the prequels suck. Because Count Dooku to me could have been a very, very good character. I talked about this in the last one about it in episode 2. What I would have done with Dooku, again, not a writer.
Right.
I'm going to get beer while we talk.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is what I would have done in episode 2.
Right.
Where, again, Dooku shows up earlier in the film as a friend of the Jedi.
Would have made much more sense.
And again... everyone knows who he is. Obi-Wan gets to know him. And they spend time together. And then it's revealed that he's evil in the end.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yeah, tension is built. That battle in the end is a bigger deal.
Yeah.
His betrayal.
Maybe you would have not named him Dooku. You know. Yeah. Steve.
PP. Instead of Dooku. PP.
Right.
All right, it's my old friend, Count PP.
Well,
you can call me Dooku now.
It is true. Like, look, Christopher Lee brought a lot of like fun and kind of. He was the Alec Guinness of this movie.
Well, he could have been.
Right.
He's
yes,
not.
He could have been. And Alec Guinness was a higher stature.
Yeah, he could have been like almost like an evil Obi-Wan.
Yes.
He could have been like.
That's what he should have been.
In episode 2, they should have brought him in. And the one thing I found unique about Count Dooku. It's like one of the things I always liked about him, one that the lightsaber is kind of cool. It looks like a rifle.
Yeah.
But I like that he is a Sith Lord. He's considered a Sith Lord.
Yep.
He's a Jedi, originally a Jedi though, high-ranking Jedi.
Yes, a fallen
who's
Jedi.
Turned Sith Lord. But the difference is that he does not look evil. See, what's funny is if you look at like all the Sith Lords.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Emperor, I guess. I always thought that we'll get to that later, but always reveal that, like, he always kind of looked like a gross thing, and that he was masking it.
Right.
And then he shoots himself with lightning. It's so stupid. Or I thought he just was really old. You know?
No, well, I
just think he was, like, really old and creepy. Like, he was, like, 1,000 years old. Like, if Yoda was, like, 900, he was, like, 1,000. And,
yeah.
So, one thing I liked about Dooku is like, it shows that, like... Because, like, you know, Vader is burnt, and he's, like, a cyborg. It's like all these Sith Lords, like, they all pay a price. So they, like, it's like they sacrifice their bodies.
Well,
like, if you look at all video games, like, all the Sith are usually, like, even, like, whenever they do, like, Old Republic and all these, like, they're just fucked up looking.
Right.
But he's not. He looks like a normal person.
He does.
He's a count.
That's true.
He looks
all
high
suave.
society. He's well put together. He doesn't have ghoulish eyes and like red glowing.
And he's kind of like he's grand, like in a nice way, grandfatherly. I mean, he seems like a nice guy.
Right, yeah, exactly. And that's why that would work. And I think he's just a fucking wasted character. And they wasted him in episode 3. I would have been, like, I just think, like, it's like you had this opportunity. It's like, okay, well, and that could have been a good thing too, because it's like, you know, it shows you, like, the paths that people can take and, like, okay,
right.
Well, Count Dooku didn't. It's like he becomes this evil Sith Lord, and he didn't really like. What did he sacrifice? What did he give up to become one? What did he? You know, he's like a Qui-Gon Jinn Jedi, or he's supposedly up there with like Mace Windu.
Right.
It's not Yoda level, but he's in the council, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, and then he becomes this evil Sith Lord. It's like what happened?
Yeah, why didn't he pay an observable price?
What did, you know, like a physical consequence? You know, he's got a big giant scar on his face. He's not like.
That is weird.
I have a little bald spot that I have to hide on the back of my head. Look what I've given up to regain unstoppable evil. A 1-inch little bald spot.
Well,
I have to grow my hair to cover that.
Let me rewind for a second. I agree. I mean, Dooku was wasted. Christopher Lee's kind of a fun actor. I mean, he's a genre favorite. It's a shame he wasn't utilized better. But look, man, Star Wars, the prequels had a lot of problems. That's just one of them.
I know.
Why? How did? And when I rewatched. Okay, I rewatched this on. I rented it on Amazon a couple nights ago, and it starts out.
That's my beer porn.
Well, it starts out with Palpatine kidnapped. And he intentionally allowed himself to be kidnapped.
Yes, he does.
It was part of his orchestra. But it's like such a complicated plan, you know? And it's like...
You will kidnap me.
Right, like...
And I
is
will
this...
sit in this chair.
And no one questioned...
And I won't die, right? You're not going to sacrifice me.
I know, he should have been
Count
like...
Dooku, I won't do that. You can trust me.
It's a good thing you didn't surrender to Aldo Raines, right? Like... Good thing he didn't surrender to Aldo Raines, you know. It would have been like at the end of Inglourious Basterds.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's so weird. Like, how did the Jedi even explain? Like, hey, Palpatine got kidnapped. Like, how did they reconcile that?
So actually, which was one of the cool things was when in between the movies. They did have Glenn Tarkovsky, I think his name is, the guy who created Dexter's Laboratory.
Okay.
The one who has Samurai Jack. He did these animated shorts, and they premiered them like a year before the movie.
Okay.
They did shorts, and this was supposed to be the Clone Wars. And then they did longer ones close to the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And it was revealed that Grievous...
General Grievous, yeah.
So it is explained. It is a setup, but they do show that. And it was released like a month before the movie came out. Again, it was a cartoon.
Sure. But Grievous...
but at least it was kind of cool. It did go right into that.
Grievous was the leader of the Separatists. Or a leader of the Separatists. The robot Separatists.
Well, he was working for Count Dooku. Count Dooku was the leader of the Separatists.
Right. Well, yeah. But he was a general of the...
Yeah. And he's on in episode 2. He shows up later.
Yeah.
And he's like kind of like... He's not a Jedi. He's like a apprentice of Count Dooku, but he's not I don't know.
Right.
He's supposed to be like a precursor to Darth Vader because you see he has like lungs and shit.
Right, he's coughing and shit.
So Anakin kills the wasted character. Like I said, I think like in my version of the prequel trilogy, I think you could easily worked in this evil Obi-Wan character. He could have been an inverse of Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
and that could have been kind of cool. And that could have been a good growing moment for Obi-Wan.
Well, and it would have been a nice parallel shot from when Darth Vader faced Obi-Wan in Episode 4, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's all different things. I mean,
right.
And it's a waste. And, you know, and it's like the character shows up for 4 minutes in Episode 3. He's taken out quickly. Waste of fucking character.
Right.
So then, let's see, let me go to my notes. Like... Oh, yeah, I always like that line right before when Dooku does show up and Obi-Wan's like, says to the Emperor, don't worry, Siths are our specialties. And I'm like, are they?
Yeah. Really?
It's like they should have went to like Anakin's robot arm and been like, I don't think
so. The ghost of Qui-Gon.
Yeah. Really?
Well, yeah.
And then the Emperor's like, I'm right here.
Right.
So, no.
Well, I guess that is kind of like some dramatic irony, you know, where you're like, the audience is like...
line.
Yeah.
You know, there's some... Obi-Wan's got some awesome lines.
Look, if I'm being generous, I'll say it shows how arrogant... That was the problem with the Jedi. They were very arrogant and full of themselves. They didn't see the very real peril right in front of their eyes, right in their midst. And that kind of bullshit comment is indicative of that arrogance. I mean, if I'm saying like... Hey, I'm going to give this the best possible interpretation possible.
Right. It probably doesn't deserve that.
Probably not. But anyway.
So he cuts off Dooku's head, and then Sidious or Palpatine's trying to like already influence. He's already been influencing Anakin for years, but he's like, well, he did chop off your arm. Right. Eye for an eye.
Hey.
You know, which is like not the way. Yeah, it's like the evil, like revenge. It's like playing right into the Sith. And then he's like, leave Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was knocked out. And it shows, at least in this movie, it shows where Episode 2 fails. Anakin's a prick. He's not likable.
Yeah.
Like you said, like they do a good job. It's almost like, just forget about the first two movies. Just watch 3.
Right.
Anakin's like, no, his fate will be the same as ours. So, like, there is good in him.
Yeah, Anakin seems much more redeemable in this one. You're right.
Yeah.
It's
right. In the first 10 minutes. Well, no, first, like, half hour.
Well, yes, I'm not going to get to the end, but I'll... Okay, yeah.
So, then... a bunch of other shit happens. Elevator crap, more tension bullshit. Like, the ship's, like, turning sides.
Lurching, yeah.
And then they get captured by Grievous. That's when you're introduced to him. And he's just cackling, like, he's like, and he's got, like, a big cape. And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, look, when I first saw him, I was like, oh, this is cool in the same way Darth Maul was cool. I liked the Grievous character design.
Yeah, I do too.
I thought it was really cool. I think he kind of got Darth Mauled in the sense that it's like... Darth Maul was a much more compelling character because Grievous was sort of one note. But
how was Darth Maul more compelling?
Well, because he had like cool makeup and shit.
Okay, that's not compelling.
Well, he had the title of Darth, so he clearly had a backstory.
Right.
He looked demonic, you know. So there's a lot. Okay, the character wasn't compelling, but the audience brought a lot of like preconceived notions that made him compelling.
So this is a funny thing, you know, about. A little inside thing about the making of this movie. The voice is not the voice was supposed to be Gary Oldman. And he dropped.
I thought you were going to say
Gary Shandling.
No, I thought you were going to say Gary Coleman.
Yeah.
But
fuck. I mean, who cares at this point, right? I can just get
Mel Blanc.
Yeah. What's up? Yeah, even though he's just dead for like 10 years.
Right. But, okay, so
Mel
Gary
Blanc's
Oldman.
ghost. They just Gary Oldman was supposed to be him.
Okay.
And this was my favorite, and I claim bullshit on this. He said he refused to do it. He backed out.
Okay.
Because one, I think he didn't want to be in the movie.
Sure.
The movies were filmed in Australia. Because a lot of movies in that time were filmed in Australia. It was a nice tax evasion.
Sure.
Movies were cheaper to make there. Now they're in Georgia.
Yeah, right.
But in the early 2000s, all big budget films were pretty much filmed in Australia.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember that.
And the Matrix sequels were in it.
Nice.
They were filmed in Australia. I'm positive they were filmed in Australia. So like I said, I know now with the abortion rules supposedly in Georgia that a lot of these Hollywood studios are going to pull out.
Yeah, we'll see. Wait and see.
But I also don't think I bet these laws aren't going to kick in either. Something's going to happen. That's stupid. That's like suicide for your state. It's like you're like Hollywood.
Well, North Carolina. Look, that swung North Carolina blue. That kind of the bathroom laws.
Yeah.
I actually coincidentally I have a friend. I haven't talked to him in years. Who is a city manager in Georgia where they filmed Zombieland. Yeah. They did that near Valdosta State University where I went to school.
All the Marvel movies are filmed there.
Oh, okay, wow.
Like all the main work and everything, it's all filmed in Georgia.
Well, I know.
Become it's like I said, but back in the early 2000s, all those movies were made in Australia. And Gary Oldman claimed he didn't want to be in the movie because it didn't follow the SAG rules or something. They weren't using union workers.
Well, good for him.
Yes, but I think that's politics. I bet you he didn't want to be in the movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's how you get out of the movie. Now, I'm not saying that Gary Oldman doesn't have strong beliefs.
Sure.
I'm sure that was right. But if it was a really compelling, good movie, and this is the third movie of a very good series, and you're not doing shitty dialogue for a character named General Grievous, you're probably going to be like, yeah, I'm going to do this movie.
I mean, just based on, like, at that point...
And you'll come up with some bull... And if someone confronts you on it, well, you're this guy who's supposedly against...
Yeah.
You're for union. You come up with
a dump truck full of money up to my house.
And I want to be in this movie because people like it.
Yeah, well, look, man.
It's like, this series is tainted.
Well, okay, so who did General Grievous's
voice?
It was like a nobody.
Probably just like a voiceover actor or something, but not Gary Oldman.
Right.
Or Gary Coleman.
Or Gary Coleman.
Or Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
I don't know. Wherever Gary Busey sounds like.
I saw an actor last night that I thought was Gary Busey, and it wasn't.
It was a rabid raccoon.
I forget who it was. Some character actor. He's been in a couple different things. But anyway, so General Grievous, I thought was like a really cool, fun character that ultimately went nowhere. I thought it was kind of like
he was just a toy.
Yeah, he was a toy. Look, he had a bunch of lightsabers.
Yeah,
right.
That's cool.
And
4 arms.
well, he killed like a bunch of Jedi, and then he took their lightsabers.
Yeah.
I think there's like a whole little story there that was fun to think about.
He was hunting them down and collecting them.
That's when Star Wars does stuff like that. Now, that's a grim example of that.
Well, like Boba Fett has like the Wookiee braid supposedly
Yeah.
on him. It's the little details.
But it's those little details where you imagine a whole another story that doesn't even exist yet.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, it's funny. A friend of mine went to the new Star Wars place out in Disney.
Yeah.
Well, there's a cantina thing, and then in one of them they put like a broom off to the side, and you're supposed to, in your head, I guess, invent the story that's that kid's broom from the end of episode 8, right? Well,
oh yeah, that's a good thing. The broom. Everyone's
I think
like,
that's a cool little thing. No,
the broom. Oh my god, that was so quintessential.
I
was
like that.
This podcast is over. I mean, that's cool. I mean, hey, dude, I like shovels.
Well,
Let's keep shoveling that shit. All right, cool. So, let's see. So yeah, and then bunch of shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
They fight. They break some windows. The ship's about to crash. General Grievous does his escape. It reminded me of Spaceballs when he escapes the escape pod.
Right.
And I love it. He's like, again, it's like the difference when we talked about Inglourious Bastards last week with Aldo Rain.
Yes.
An amazing villain, incredibly layered.
Yeah.
And then you have General Grievous. Obviously, he's a robot. It's a cartoon robot, but still, it's like you could still have a CGI character with layers. He's just like, and he's cackling like a little, and he's like escaping. Like he literally is twirling his fingers. I'm like, this is so dumb. Like no one does that.
Yeah.
I escaped. I do that when I write. If I like cut traffic or something, I'm like,
yeah.
And then I become General Grievous.
Right. The perfect crime. It was ridiculous. I mean, like some of that. It's so hard to tell with some of these because it's an homage to like those old serials and Flash Gordon and this, that, whatever.
Get over yourself. Like again, make the movie for the audience. Like again, I know the artist or whatever, but it's like George. You're like in your late 60s, I think, at this point, or mid 60s when this movie is being made, and I know it's like always referencing the serials and back, but guess what? Your audience doesn't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, it's come and gone. Look, this is not American Graffiti anymore. You know, you're not like, but he was very one note. I go back and forth as to whether or not I like or dislike him.
I like him. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
He's I don't expect anything from him. He's a big robot with 4 arms with lightsabers. He's cool looking.
Right.
They do a really good job on him. Like I said, I think Count Dooku's a waste of a character because it's a real actor you got, and he is in every scene he's in. It's cool. So why did you not expand on that?
Right. Yeah.
I'd rather have the ass-picking alien. It was so cute. That would have taken time away from Dax picking his ass.
Right. Well,
I didn't want to do that.
So, General Grievous...
I really wanted to have that scene where Anakin was riding an actual space ball. Like a cow testicle in the field.
Yeah. I would have distracted for 7 minutes of, do you love me? Do you really love me? Are you...
Oh, my God. We didn't even get to that yet.
Yeah, okay.
If you thought the dialogue in episode 2 was bad...
Man.
Ooh, sweet Lord.
Right, buckle up.
It's worse. Okay, but I like the scene, though, where they're again, Anakin's a great pilot. They're like, oops, like all the things that Obi-Wan talks about in episode 4, they're like, shit, we have to actually do that. Like,
we got to show it.
Obi-Wan talks about how he was a great friend, and he was a great pilot, and he was a great this. There's all these things like talked up Anakin, so they're like, shit, we actually have to do that in this movie.
Yeah.
In episode 2, he's a little shit.
Well, and I'll throw this out here just kind of as an aside. That, I think, really is the underlying problem with the prequels is that they're hamstrung. They're the outcome to all the things that's already set in stone. They can't, you can't...
I just think if they were... I don't believe in that. It's like the same thing with, like, properties when... Studios would be like, or even like when I used to work in licensing, and they'll be like, "Oh, we already tried that with that character. We're not going to test that anymore." And I'm like, "Yeah," but then I'll look at it and I'll be like, "But this is what you tested. This is what you made.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the audience doesn't like that. You just made a terrible version of it. And
but Anakin's always going to be Darth Vader. Like, that was always the outcome.
Right, that's
that.
fine.
Like,
but you can make a good story leading up to it.
That's true, yeah.
You know?
But it's not going to be a surprising story. It's going to be a certain kind of story.
It can be surprising if you do it in a way that, like, the details can be the surprising part.
Right,
Or
yeah.
the supporting characters, or, again, Amidala, you know nothing about her.
True.
Which is funny that, like, Leia has memories of her. She talks about her in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I'm like, I always think that's not a big deal. That could be just, like, visions that she had as a baby, seeing her mother. But,
and people say stuff like that.
But you can literally say that she has memories of her, so that means that she actually was raised by Amidala.
Right, yeah. All right, well, yeah.
Okay, so, I do believe, though, they are restrained, but if they were written better, more creatives were allowed to be involved, and it wasn't just about making fucking toys and, like...
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Then... They could have been a little bit. Yeah. So, but I do like that crash scene. I like when the ship's flying into the city, and like they're trying to, like, those other ships were like spraying them down so they would cool off, but they still crash into things. Like,
I think that's awesome. Great. Yeah, that's probably one of the better scenes. You know, not non-plot related, but like scenes. It's just really cool looking.
So then they land, and then all the senators are there, and Palpatine's safe, and the war's supposedly almost over, but it's not, because Palpatine's like, oh, General Grievous still out there, so I guess we're going to have to keep that war going. Yeah. And Mace Windu's like, this war's done, right?
Right.
You know, you've stayed longer, you've been a chancellor way too long now. I guess there's a term limit.
Well, they knew, and this is kind of the political backdrop, is that, look, they were a republic with senators, and they voted, and it was kind of democratic and egalitarian and whatnot. And they saw this guy consolidating power and making unilateral decisions, and they knew that was bad. I mean, they just knew it was bad.
It's like when Trump says that he deserves more years. If he gets elected again, that he actually deserves more years because the Mueller investigation took away years. He's probably like, I need to be president as long as I'm alive, because once I'm out, I'm going to go to jail.
Right, yeah, basically.
So, okay... You know, I talk about Dooku.
Yeah.
I think, and again now, I'm going to make my improvements on the prequel.
Okay.
What I think would have been better.
Okay.
I'm not saying, and it's a small, minor detail. Instead of just and this would have made Anakin more of a hero. This would have elevated Anakin as a hero, and not just like, oh, he just rescued Palpatine.
Sure.
What if, instead of the Palpatine getting all those senators that show up, they all get kidnapped. Everyone gets kidnapped. And it's almost like you find out later it's a failed attempt. Actually, Palpatine was trying to get all them killed.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually worked against him. He's like, fuck. I was trying to get them all killed. And Amidala's there too. They're all there.
Right.
And he's the one that saves them all. So you still follow the same thing.
Yep.
You still follow fighting Dooku.
Yeah, same narrative, basically.
But now instead of just Palpatine, you got like 10 other senators. 10 leading senators, like the leaders of the houses.
Right, sure. Committee members or something.
So it's like Pelosi, McConnell, Schumer. Like, they're all there.
Right.
Yeah. That fat blue alien, that other alien. But like, I think that would have been like, then that would have added even more tension. That would have added more like, and then you could find out later, like, Palpatine was trying to get them all killed. So it's not just like...
It definitely would have benefited from higher stakes because... throughout it all, there's this big intergalactic war, you know, and the Republic is teetering. They say in the crawl, even they say like the Republic is crumbling, but it never feels that way.
No, it doesn't. And that was a funny thing. If you ever watched again, it's like this has been discussed by other people. Red Letter Media.
Oh, he's great.
Review.
Did
you see the episode 31?
Look, back in the day, I've watched all of them over and over again.
One thing he points out, he says like. And one of the failures of this series, too, which I totally agree with on this, is that, okay, you got this intergalactic war, but, like, Coruscant still looks like this booming city.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing's happening. There's no... Like, there should be, like, destruction everywhere. There should be, like, people, like, in rags. There should be, smoke plumes everywhere. Like, people should be feeling it. And he said, like, all you see is cars in the background, just generic, like, spaceships flying in the background. And, like, the best scene is, like, when Anakin's going to the temple, and they show the scene. It's, like, really funny. And they see, here's that guy. Guy going to, like, work or whatever. He's just like, whatever. I'm just, the whole galaxy's changing right before my eyes, but I got to get to work. Who gives a shit? Because none of this affects me.
What were all those people doing? Like, look, I like
Hey, they got to work, man.
I like the movie a lot.
It's like when Giuliani said after 9/11. Remember when Bush said after 9/11? What can we do to help? Go out of shop. No, we said go out of shop. Oh, yeah,
that's right. Well, look, Starship Troopers, whether you love it or hate it.
It's an amazing movie.
I love it. It's so good. They did a great job of, like, showing it fucked everything up, right? Like, the planet, cities got destroyed, legs torn off.
You're talking about the soldiers. You're not talking about Earth. They didn't show Earth after once they left. You're told that Earth gets attacked, and then right at the next scene they're at a base, and then they're on ships.
Yeah,
they kept the battle all, and there's no destruction. Like, if you're going to show this intergalactic war, the closest thing is, like, those battle in the end of the movie. It's above the city.
Even they're pretty antiseptic. You know, I mean, like, they're not bloody and gory.
But, I mean, there's no effect on the city. You know, Dex is still flipping burgers, picking his ass before he does that.
Yeah.
Good old Dex.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he wasn't in this movie. Hey, Obi-Wan. Yeah. What's that?
My ass.
This time I picked it with my fourth arm. And I'm going to handle your food next.
Well, I think your point about there being stakes, elevated stakes, is a good one.
That could have been kind of cool. I think I also would have made Anakin more of a hero in the public. Like, it's almost like he becomes like a Superman character.
Oh, and then like they're Captain America.
And then you have the fall. And instead, it's just like, it's like quieter. It's like the only one who sees it's Palpatine, and that's like it.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, it's fine, but it's just like, I think, again, the stakes are raised. You get more characters in there. It's a bigger threat. Grievous is a bigger threat. It's not just about Palpatine.
Right,
it's the whole entire Senate. And like I said, you can work it in. Okay, it wasn't just like a set, you know, instead of just like this exercise that Palpatine did. It was like, I'm going to fake getting caught, and then I'll get you to kill this fucking old asshole I'm trying to get rid of.
Look, at that
point, have cool scars like I do.
I just don't. Look, I don't understand why he needed to do all that to take control.
It would make sense if he would have the whole Senate get, or like you said, leading houses, major, like top 10 senators.
Well, that's basically. I mean, like I'm not saying George W. Bush is Darth Sidious, but that's kind of like the same dynamic, like an extraordinary emergency and weird stuff, and I'm suspending.
Well, he makes a lot of. The funny thing is, this movie though, is that he does make a lot of references to the Bush administration.
Yeah,
in this movie,
we talked about that.
When Anakin says, "If you're not with me, you're against me." That guy's literally George Bush said that.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, that was all tough guy, cowboy tough bullshit.
Right.
Because nothing says tough like a silver spoon brat.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, okay, so regardless of like how it all happens, they're to the point now where like things are starting to.
Well, Anakin's so like everything's back home. There's like a moment, you know, Obi-Wan says that thing to him, like, "Oh no, you deserve your time with the senators, and you deserve the praise." I got my ass kicked. You're the one who saved me. I didn't do anything. You know, he's just Obi-Wan's like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. I like he's like that guy who he's the person like there's two different people go to work. There's the people who want to move up, and there's the people just like I'm gonna lead a fight today.
Yeah, Obi-Wan is punching the clock.
Yeah, he's like, I did my job.
Right,
I'm good at what I do. I'll do it somewhere else if you don't like it. Okay, so then there's mistrust, and then. Hidden in the scene out of nowhere is Amidala like hiding.
Yeah,
and they have this cheesy. I love
it's
you. You
bad.
I really love you. Oh yeah, I really love you, and you're just like.
Well,
I don't know if they really love each other.
Well, Harrison Ford like famously said to Lucas like, "You can write this shit, but you can't say it," or something to that effect. You know?
About the original trilogy though.
Right, about the original trilogy, which was like freaking Shakespeare compared to this scene.
I mean, yeah,
it's bad. It's like I've said a couple times now. I used to teach high school. The average 10th grader's writing better dialogue than that.
Well, I just think that it's like, I mean, you think like these big budget movies, like obviously George Lucas can't fucking write romance to save his life.
Right.
But when you just get like someone like a ghostwriter?
Yeah. Hire a 14-year-old.
Or get Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Right? Nicolas Cage.
All I know is Hellstorm and chains and fire and penance.
Right.
Good enough.
Johnny Blaze. Well, it's bad. It's real bad.
Yeah, get a 14-year-old. Get a really good literate 15-year-old.
Right.
Like,
go to the mall and
this sounds bad already.
Sit at the food court.
No, but you ever seen that photo of George Lucas?
No.
It's funny you said that. George Lucas eating sand in the food court.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I have seen that. Yeah. Just go to the fucking food court.
I'm no problem doing that.
And get your notebook out, and you listen to two kids talking next to you, and you write down what they say verbatim.
My God, the amount of filth and curses.
Right, yeah. Right.
And I was like, fuck you, you piece of shit.
Well,
and then he was like, oh, yeah, dog? You don't know
so
me.
you omit that part. But just write down shit you hear kids say, and there's your dialogue. Yeah. That's how it works, you know?
Mom,
right?
Why is George Lucas standing on a park bench watching me?
Yeah.
Honey, he's writing Star Wars.
He's writing dialogue.
Writing dialogue. That's right, Kench.
Tell Padme you
Not
love her.
saying that George Lucas is a creep in the park.
I know, but look.
Yeah, write a good script. Man.
Writing dialogue is not, and I'm not a writer myself, but like writing dialogue is pretty easy. You listen to how people talk, and then you write that shit down.
Yeah,
right. That's how dialogue. That's
and good. If you're the Gilmore Girls, you just rapid fire.
Well, you get a very sharp pencil. And I love the Gilmore. Did you watch the Gilmore Girls?
My wife liked it.
I love them.
I tried getting into it. I feel like everyone was quippy. Everyone.
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
was quippy. It's like
it wasn't real.
I always thought it was like rapid fire.
Yeah.
It's like snap. It's like no one fucking talks like that.
No, but it was good. It reminds. Look, I like Gilmore Girls. I'll only say this briefly, but it reminds me of like how, like when I think back on my years in high school, I'm like I was so cool and urbane and witty and this, and I probably was. I was probably like a freaking disaster. But in my head, remembering how I was in high school, that's how like the Gilmore Girls talked. It's like an idealized version of the real world. So she's a good writer. That Amy Padilla Sherman or something.
I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, she should do a Star Wars. She should do episodes.
Please don't. I mean, or at least go back in time and write the dialogue for the love story.
Imagine Padme didn't die, and she escaped, and she did have Leia, and Leia did remember it, and they settled it. Leia, and they settled it in Stars Hollow. Like with
what?
Well, imagine a Padme Leia story. Anyway, all right.
You know, I just think that like, I got you. Yeah. Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, but with those two,
right. I always hate that guy Kirk from Gilmore Girls. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's Sean Gunn's James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn.
Oh, is it?
He's great in the Guardians movies. He's
son of a gun. You're right.
And he's the one who does like all the stand-in. Like he's the one who animates Rocket Raccoon.
Really?
You gotta watch behind the scenes because he kind of like walks on his knees. It's really funny. He's
that's funny. I had no idea.
Motion capture Rocket, but he's like wasn't Yondu's second in command in the Guardians movie? Yeah. So, but I fucking hated Kirk. On Gilmore Girls. So, I don't know what it was. He made me so mad because I'm like, he's just like one of those goofy characters.
He's so intentionally goofy.
Yeah, and it made me. I couldn't. I don't know. Okay, we're just gonna talk about the Gilmore Girls the rest.
Yeah,
right. Get back to Star Wars. I don't know. Fucking, they fought in some lava shit, and then all right. Well, let's get back to the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah,
all right. Right? So horrible, shitty dialogue. They're like, so you're watching episode 3, and it's like, okay, this is an improvement to episode 2 already.
It is.
It feels like the original Star Wars movie. There's adventure, there's pacing. I mean, there's some stupid stuff and whatever. But I would say the first 15 minutes is pretty solid when they fight Dooku and the ship crashes. Yeah. But man, once that ship crashes, it's like, and then he sees Amidala. She's
symbolic.
Got the buns in her hair. Like, but then they have that shitty dialogue, and you're just like, oh, never mind. I'm watching the prequels.
You said this before we started recording. The transition from episode 2, Amidala, which is kind of like this cool action figure, like,
she has a cool outfit in episode 2, the white kind of like...
Yeah, midriff thing.
Yeah, and she's like badass. She's like picking locks and fucking kicking ass.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking photo.
Well, she's like...
this space tiger or something.
But then you go to episode 3, and she's barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah.
Is what and she's like...
She does nothing in episode 3. She just sits there and cries.
It's really disappointing,
It's like...
It's almost like a different character.
Well,
Yeah.
It's like they didn't have characters.
Yeah. Well, anyway, okay, so that's very depressing. Well, here's the thing, and I guess this is the problem with the prequel, too, is they were done with her arc. She had like a cool adventure arc in episode 2, but by the time episode 3 rolled around, she just needed to have a couple kids. That was it. That's why she was there, is to have a couple kids.
She's there to have... kind of, isn't that...
Well,
that's like... That's when...
Tonight, on a very problematic...
on a very problematic episode, this is why two middle-aged men...
Right.
Middle-aged men should not talk ever again.
Well, it is. It's a weird...
What are you, Dave Chappelle? Netflix special? Zing?
Yeah.
That's it's funny. I'm gonna make anytime we make like a reference that's like today.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna make a joke about the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah.
How it's like sold out.
Yeah.
But like if someone's listening to this like 6 months from now, no one's gonna get that reference.
Right. Probably not.
I should like just be like, hey guys, just want to let you know this is a joke I'm making that takes place at this point.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering what the hell is the big deal about the Popeyes chicken sandwich, why don't you do a Google search and you'll see an article from 6 months ago.
They were very difficult to
find. Or a week ago. Depending on when you listen to this episode.
You fought in the Popeye chicken war sandwich?
Yeah, the Popeye chicken war.
I knew your father well.
Yeah, I knew your father well in the Popeye's chicken war. When my father held up the Popeye's chicken in Texas.
With an AR-15. Peak America.
Talk about marketing.
Yeah.
That's some good guerrilla marketing right there.
Yeah, right?
So... People are literally going to the store with their machine guns.
And we find, at the same time, we find Amidala's pregnant.
Yes.
Right? This is where we find out.
And they're like, our lives are going to change.
Yeah.
They don't know about our marriage.
Right.
They don't know that we live together in this amazing...
Right. Like, I don't know how... And nobody knows anything in this movie.
No, no one knows anything in this movie. No one knows the fucking... Everyone just, like, says things and they don't follow through on it. They're like Mace Windu or them, or like, they'll say, like, the Chancellor's been reelected a bunch of times. All right, well, I'm going to go do some Jedi stuff.
It is. It's a whole bunch of people swinging by, dropping plot points, then leaving, and doing nothing about those plot points.
Yoda's always like, things are too cloudy. They are, I see.
Well, did you... Okay, that's a good question, because I watched this, and then I tried to find it out, and I stopped looking on the internet. Was it literally that Sidious was using the Force to... cloud their minds, or
supposedly he was clouding everyone's minds.
Right. So he was.
That's how powerful he was.
Yeah, he was expelling a fog over people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll buy that. That makes sense because, look,
that means he's insanely powerful.
Well, yes, but it's not that big of a when Ben Kenobi's like, these are not the droids you're looking for. That's a small version of a fog of a mind.
I mean, you can. The Emperor was just sending out Pepe the Frog memes.
Oh, well, it's established in world.
That libtard. What are you, some kind of snowflake?
This is how I own the Jedis.
This is how 66. I own the Jedis.
Well, so it's established in world.
Sending out memes. This is an internet troll.
That's not too far from the truth. So it's established that that's something they can do. They can cloud people's minds because Kenobi does that to the Stormtrooper.
But that's one guy.
Yeah, but
for 1 minute.
Kenobi did it effortlessly. I mean, he's just like, "Hey, these aren't the droids you're looking for," and then they're like, "Oh."
So want to buy some death sticks?
Yeah, it's fun.
I want to reevaluate my life.
So it's not inconceivable that.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that. Yeah. That's fine. I mean,
I'll buy that. It's
that's fine. I mean, if that's what you got to do to
sure.
It's like, or he could have just had a little bit of gas in the air conditioning system, or something that made everybody's brains a little foggy.
It just seems weird that look, by this point in the film, the guy's naked, and Mace Windu knows. He's like, look, this guy's.
Well, he's like basically like, hey, all right, buddy, we killed Dooku.
Right.
Oh, we gotta get Grievous. Oh, yeah, we'll go get him.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna end this fucking war.
Right. And Anakin looks evil by this point. He's
still
like,
a good guy. Well, it's a funny, but yeah, that's a funny thing. It's like he's supposed to be like at his most heroic moment in the beginning, but he's wearing darker clothes.
Yes.
He's wearing like almost charcoal or dark chocolate colors.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean,
Right.
it's like his hair's longer. He's got a scar on his face.
Yeah.
he's got like battle damage.
There's little things. Look, if the Jedi, like when Luke Skywalker rolls into Dagobah, Yoda instantly like reads him, and I mean Yoda's been through some shit by that point, but like Yoda's like feeling him out and kind of is not reading his mind, but like
from what you get when he sees him is that Yoda's been watching him his whole life.
Yeah,
because he's like, what he's doing,
right?
And I'm like, this little fucking guy's been watching me the whole time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a bad example.
You spend way too much time in your room with the door closed.
It does seem weird,
idle hands.
Right?
Maybe not too idle. That's a bigger problem.
Yoda does not do wax on, wax off.
You do too much whack on, whack off.
But it seems to me that the Jedi, of all the Jedi there, one of the Jedi should have been like, hey, have any of you ever considered the fact that maybe, like, dude's a Sith? You know, I mean, like, I guess not. I don't know.
Maybe, like, if there was, like, a Fox News or some shit, and there was, like,
that would have been, like,
stuff, and, like, there's, like, a Sean Hannity.
Right.
There's, like, a network that, like, makes it hard to do anything.
Right. Like, one of them could have had, like, a little internet show called, like, Info Sith or something.
Info Sith. That's why everybody... They put chemtrails in there.
It's just putting together, like, charts and shit. Like
the Jedi Temple was a fake burn.
Right.
There's crisis actors there. There was no Jedi Temple. There were no younglings killed.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we're getting to the point now. Because, that is looking weird. Okay, so yeah, I got a little too dark.
Okay, so I don't know. They drop their own shit. Yeah. Anakin's now in his awesome apartment with Padme.
Yep.
Then he's sleeping and he has nightmares of her like
dying,
crying or dying or.
Well, he sees like, and again, this is like hard to tell. Like,
well, he sees his mom.
Yes.
And that's why he goes kills a whole society of
sand people.
Yeah. And I like that they brought that up. And at least in 3, when even Palpatine brings it up, like, oh, you know when you killed all the sand people?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I already got you, buddy. He's like, you were there, you were mine that day.
That was, that is true, and that's a great kind of callback. That's one of the things that draws all those 3 movies together. Well,
the one thing they say, and that's why I think that, again, where the prequels succeed, it's like the prequels are like, they're good blueprints. Everything's there. It's just like, if you just had better writers, better dialogue, these movies would have been awesome.
Better dialogue, absolutely.
Better pacing, better, less farting.
Yeah.
And you know what? Fine. If you have great dialogue and you want a farting monster,
right?
Fight a farting dinosaur in episode 1, go ahead.
It's fine.
Because you know what? You earned it.
Yeah. If you had the good dialogue.
Instead of the whole movie being farts, you'd have one fart.
Characters making good decisions or logical decisions.
Or just good dialogue. They could, And like I said, the characters have no agency. They're just like,
like,
all right, well, we go to this scene now, and we go to this scene. I don't know, I guess I'll go here.
Well, a lot of it's, and we've said this before too, it's like a video game where you're on rails. You're marching through the scenes, and you have the next scene is coming up, and you got to go through it.
Side scroller.
Yeah, basically.
So, sorry, maybe we'll edit this. I think this is where the movie takes like a really quick, sharp turn, where like it just, you got this thing, and then it's like, okay, well now we gotta make Anakin evil now, so they like out of nowhere everybody just starts treating him like shit, and he starts getting real paranoid, and there's a lot of cheesy, like, this is where like a lot of just sitting down, talking in a room. It's like, the cheesy, walking down the hallway. It's like exposition dialogue. It's really where, like, now Palpatine wants to make Anakin a special envoy on the Jedi Council, even though it's not his place. He's
right, and the Jedi don't want him. They're not going to make him a Jedi Knight.
Right. They're like, well, that's not how it works. Like, he doesn't. I mean, he could sit here, but he's not a Jedi Knight.
But they both want Anakin to spy on the other.
Well, Obi-Wan tells him that.
Yeah.
He's like, I need you to do this, even though no one's telling you to do it. But I'm asking you to do it. And it's like, so that's where that's where the Jedi are stupid, because it's like, okay, well, you're in Anakin's eyes now. It's like, well, you guys both suck.
Yeah, well, I think the movie actually did a good job. Like, if you briefly slip into Anakin's perspective, the Jedi are just as fucked up as Palpatine, as far as he knows. Now, Palpatine asked him to kill a man, a Sith.
He's asking to leave his friend there.
Yeah. Clearly there are not heroes on both sides.
No, but that's a very bizarre. That dialogue was very weird.
Yeah.
Grievous, that cackling evil character, a true hero.
Yeah, well, yeah. To the robots.
To the robots, yeah.
Yeah.
That Grievous is a really good guy. That's right, Roger.
Roger.
I hated that.
Yeah, that was rough. All right, so...
To the robots, he was a hero. I guess you gotta look at it that way.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah. It is weird, because, like, just how, like, in Disney, you have, like, Goofy, who's a dog, and Pluto, who's a dog.
Right.
Like, in these, you have, like, C3...
They both lick each other's assholes.
Well, C3PO is a robot, okay? Yeah. And the Roger robots are robots. Right. But, like, C3PO is, like, Goofy to...
They're Goofy also.
Yeah, but C3PO is, like, humanish compared to some of the other robots.
Well, the one thing I always liked, another good little touch on the prequels, is it makes sense, the distrust of droids, like in episode 4 when they're not they're not allowed in there. Right. It's like, no, those kind of not welcome. Like, it makes sense that, like, there's a stigma attached to droids.
That's funny. I never thought of that, but you're right. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It makes sense. Like, okay, that's a good little... And they don't hit you on the head with it. Well, one, because the prequels weren't written yet when they made it, but they don't make a... They don't say anything like...
Yeah, it's just effortless.
Like, from now on, people will look down on droids.
I will be skeptical of your kind.
You will not be allowed in my bar. A young...
No blue milk for you. No, that's funny.
It's a little touch.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't super obvious. But, okay, so... They're like, okay, we gotta go get Grievous. Anakin was like the one that wants to go, or something, or they want to send Anakin, and it's like, no, Palpatine wants him to stay here. You send out Obi-Wan off.
Yeah,
and it's like funny. It's like when Obi-Wan says goodbye to him. It's like that's the last time they're gonna see each other,
right?
As like friends.
or
whatever. Yeah, and so then Anakin does his. There's like that cool little opera scene.
Yeah,
and like
it's a weird scene. Yeah,
and actually that's Lucas has a cameo in that scene.
Oh.
He's walking up the stairs with like some chick. He's like,
oh, really?
Alien. Yeah, he's like a senator or something. He's like,
oh, purple. That's funny. I did not know that.
Yeah, I think they even made an action figure. His name was like, I forgot the name of it. It's like a stupid name, but
Cash Grabius.
Yeah, marketing genius, Marketus.
Yeah, right. Something like that.
Toyus, Cash Grabius. Rich motherfuckers.
Yeah, right. All right, so yeah, they had the opera scene.
Yeah, and that's when you start. I mean, that's basically when Palpatine's playing peekaboo with them.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Guess what, buddy?
Right,
I might be a Sith.
Right,
just casually. I'm trying to get you to join my cult.
Yeah,
and I'm just starting it now that you made it to this level. Let me share some information with you. Now that you're at level 2.
Right. Right. Yes.
You don't get to see the final.
You're theta clear.
Yeah. We haven't told you about Xena yet. So
it's like a little Darth Scientology. Okay, so
tax exempt status. He shoots the lightning. He says absolute power. Tax exempt status.
Okay, so
Which in the end, for every religion.
Yeah, that's
really all it's about.
Well, I like the opera scene because it feels classical and dramatic.
And again, I just think it's like the best lines are written for the characters that already exist. Every scene that has Ian McDiarmid in it is the best part of the movies. Even when he's super goofy in the end, like when he becomes full-on emperor, he gets really goofy. He's like, right. He's like having the time of his life. He's like, I'm gross now. This is how I always wanted to look.
But it is. He goes at it like 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And but he seems like the only one who enjoys to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Hugh McGregor, I think. Yeah, he seems like he's into it.
He's game.
Yeah. Yoda's he's doing his thing.
Well,
so that's, and then again it cuts to the next scene, and Obi-Wan fights Grievous. Yep. Long battle. It's cool, I guess.
It's cool. I remember I liked those scenes a lot. I remember liking them when I first saw them.
He shoots him, the only way to beat him, and he just takes up the blaster and shoots him a bunch of times, and he's like so uncivilized.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what?
Well, yeah. I like those because, and there's a bunch of scenes like this, but those show the Jedi warriors, the Jedi Knights, and you could imagine like the Knights of the Round Table or Knights back in the day. They fought. They were. I
just think it's like he's one of the highlights of the of the prequels.
Yeah.
That I want to see him in the show they're going to make.
Yeah, Kenobi.
I don't know when the hell that's coming out. I know they announced it's probably not going to be out for like 3 years.
It'll be great. I'll bet you it's really good.
With him in it, it'll be a 6 at least. A 6 out of 10, no matter what. Just with him in it.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. He's just Obi-Wan sitting in his hut the whole time.
Yeah.
Just meditating.
Right. I would like. That's kind of what the new Picard series looks like on
CBS the winery.
Yeah. I think it's going to be
make some wine.
My Dinner with Picard.
Yeah, just Data and My Dinner with Andre. My Dinner with Picard with Data.
And they're just like trading like quips and
stuff. But he doesn't eat.
Yeah, I would watch that. I probably would.
A whole series.
I probably would.
1 hour.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Community?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember when they did a My Dinner with Andre episode?
Yes, yeah.
That was amazing. The whole time they trolled the audience. They were punking people into thinking that they were mocking another movie, like an action movie. It wasn't Lethal Weapon. It was like some movie, and I remember seeing all the previews during the week, and they were like, "Community's doing this," and it was some
oh, that's funny. I don't remember.
It was like a Tarantino or some type of movie, and the joke was that
they got a My Dinner with Andre.
That it was a My Dinner with Andre. He trolled the audience.
That's funny.
He gets the main guy to get away from the group. They're supposed to be doing something that the advertisers promised.
Yes.
And he's stuck having dinner with what was his name? The wacky guy. I was gonna say Puck, but that's not.
It's not him. I remember this.
That was so good. Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I'm like, what the fuck was My Dinner with Andre? That's so weird.
Yeah, that was a great show. That was a great show.
Okay, so what the fuck were we talking about?
Well, Obi-Wan kills Grievous.
Yeah. Okay, so
this is where Obi-Wan kills Grievous.
So now he tells Mace Windu, "Hey, guess what? Grievous is dead."
Yeah.
So Mace Windu's like, "Oh, actually, that's not true, because before that, you get another scene where I made a joke about this last time, where Anakin's down in another room, and basically that's where Palpatine reveals to him,
I'm
a Sith Lord."
Right.
And he's like, "No, I'm telling."
Yeah.
No,
Wizards.
Yeah, this is totally not wizards.
Yippee.
This is not pod racing.
Yeah.
I wish he said that.
That would have been good.
This is not. Yeah, or when he turns into Darth Vader, and when he gets his arms cut off, and he's like, "This is not pod racing." That would be great.
Yeah.
This is not where the fun begins.
Right.
This is where the fun ends. That's where Brave Obi-Wan says that to him.
Yeah.
This is where the fun ends.
Do you remember that conspiracy theory where people were thinking Obi-Wan was a clone?
Yeah. There was all these different fake scripts floating around. One of them was Anakin's tempted by another woman, some evil Jedi. Because it's you find out a person is in the movie, and a picture floats around, and they make all kinds of pictures, and a lot of these pictures are usually just like, they're just like studio shots, and they're meant to like send to action figure makers, they're meant to licensing. They don't. That doesn't mean shit. It doesn't tell you anything. That character might not literally.
That's how you get a shot of Luke and Biggs on
But that, not even like. Yeah, or I'm talking about like a studio shot where it's like a gray background. Like this character is probably literally just in the background. Right. And they're doing like a photo testing of the makeup, but it gets out, and people think that like, oh, this is a major character. Right. This character will tempt Anakin, and that's why Anakin turns to the dark side, because he's a cheating motherfucker. and cheating motherfuckers are Sith lords.
Yeah,
and
hanging out with blue Twi'leks. Well.
Sexy blue dress.
Yeah. As if there's any other kind.
Yeah.
Well, a lot's kind of going on here, but you feel everything tightening up.
Well, that's where, like, he reveals to him that he is the Sith Lord. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's so funny. It's like the statues in the background. It's like this, like, creepy artwork. And like I said, it's like he has a whole room of Nazi memorabilia. All of a sudden. It's like, are you a Nazi?
Right.
I'm a history buff.
I collect memorabilia.
Can someone not admire a great time and period and history of the galaxy?
Listen here, little smarty panzer. Listen. Yeah.
It really stinks what happened to them.
Right, yeah.
The Jews? No. The High Command. Subscribe to my newsletter. Right. I'll see you on Breitbart.
Oh, yeah.
8chan.
Right.
Stupid libtards.
Yeah. Okay. So he finds out for sure Palpatine's a Sith.
Well, he basically tells him, and it's like at this point Palpatine's fucking with him. He's like, it's not like oh no, I accidentally told him I'm like. This point
no, it's all straight out. Yeah.
But so Obi-Wan told Mace.
Yep.
That war's over, so he's like, I'm already ready. I'm about to like tell this guy, you're not in charge anymore.
Yeah.
And then Anakin tells him basically, and he tells Anakin specifically to stay.
Yeah.
He knows he's got to fuck it up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But let me tell you, that scene could have been really good. But,
okay.
And when so when they come in, it's like a really cool scene. It's like Palpatine's sitting at his desk, and he's like, your time's numbered.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Palpatine has a lightsaber. He does a cool little bison from Street Fighter spinning move.
Yeah.
And he's like,
right.
But it's so stupid because like those Mace comes in with like 3 other Jedis.
Yeah, they're gonna confront him.
And they get taken out in the most pathetic. I'm talking like
the other 2. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Star Trek, the original Star Trek series, had better fight choreography than this scene. I mean, these are like Jedis that have trained for their life, and they have been on many missions, and I'm sure they've confronted lots of surprise ambushes. They should. This like old man just comes leaping at them. It's not like he was that. I mean, it was so bad.
You would expect better from.
They're like They're like.
Well, they were taken out quickly, and
not even in a good way.
Now, Mace Windu is supposed to be the most powerful Jedi.
So Mace. I was saying how he was shitty in the other movies. I'll definitely say he's definitely at his best in this one.
Yes.
This is finally
because he's going to take down Palpatine.
This is like finally where I feel like, okay, Samuel Jackson's in this movie.
Yeah, this is why you brought in him.
And then the fight scene between him and Palpatine's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's not bad. You know? But I just like then when Anakin shows up and then Palpatine just starts playing like, he's trying to beat me. And like the windows up. It's so funny. And then, like, Anakin's, like, watching it, but Anakin's a fucking idiot. Because, like, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he shoots lightning at him, and he's like, you know? And then, like...
Well, and Windu's, like, batting back the lightning with his
I just love that
lightsaber.
Horrible face melt, though. It looks so shitty, the CGI.
Yeah.
Like...
It does. Now, to be fair, and we talked about this at the beginning, I watched the whole movie on streaming off my Xbox. It was not rendering real well. It looked terrible to me.
Okay, on the Blu-ray, it looks worse because it is...
Because you can see it, right.
And it's like, it just looks shitty.
I watched some of it today on the Mac on YouTube. It looked real nice and bright. I did not watch that scene. But here's where... This is where Anakin's going full in on the dark side. Like,
okay, so he's like, I can't save you. I can't teach you how to save your loved ones if you let Mace Windu beat me. And then he fucking cuts off Mace Windu's hand.
Yeah.
And then that's where he shoots the lightning. He's like,
yeah. It's comically bad.
Oh, man. But that's when... Okay, so I told you when I saw this in the theater. Did I tell you what... I swear we talked about this.
I think we did, yeah.
Okay, I said that I saw a midnight showing of it, or a late night showing, opening night in New York City. It was massive, filled up. Some dorks there with their lightsabers, or cool people. Dorks don't mean me. No, I did not have a lightsaber.
Rugged stallions.
Some studs. And by that I mean, no, I did not have a lightsaber. That wasn't cool enough.
Sure.
There was some people who actually started to do battle.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet. Yeah. Right.
Oh, that was really bad. Thankfully, not during the movie. It wasn't like Rocky Horror. But, even though that probably would have made the movie better.
Yeah.
But that scene, this is the scene now.
Right.
Where everything's changed now.
Oh, yeah.
He's now a gross monster man.
Yep.
He's the emperor we know. He's putting on robes to cover up his gross face.
Yep.
And his voice has changed now. And Darth Vader, I mean, he's not Darth Vader yet, but when he tells him he's Darth Vader, you, for that one, will be called Darth Vader.
Right. Great name. Yep.
It's like, I honestly didn't expect that. I didn't think he would get that name until, like, after he got the mask on.
Right.
But I guess it makes sense because it's like, he is Darth Vader at that point now, and he does all the horrible things. He's consumed.
Yeah, because not all... The costume wasn't the name. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because Dooku got to be
plenty of people were Darths without...
Well, clearly.
Yeah. Right.
Well, you know, it's like my neighbor. I found out he was a Darth. Like, if it only went for Aldo Rain.
Right.
Carving a swastika in his head, I would have known he was a Sith.
Who knew? So... Yeah,
that's where the scene where he's like, we're going to have to kill all the Jedi now. They're going to come after us. It's going to be a civil war. I'm going to address the Senate. You are now Darth Vader. And he's like, well, first he's like, what did I do?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you've done what you were supposed to do.
Right.
And then he's just like, at that point, I'm like, and somebody knew, and he started going, this fucking sucks. This sucks. This fucking sucks. And I was like, oh, come on, man. Like, I know this sucks. But, like, shut the fuck up. And like, I think they had to kick him out of the theater.
How was it going to happen? Like, if it didn't happen that way, how was it going to happen?
I mean, like, you already watched these prequels. Did you think they were going to be good?
Right. Is this the point you realize, like, 2/3 of the way into the third prequel, you're like, oh, wait a minute, this sucks.
Yeah. Again, I think anytime a scene you didn't like, the dinosaur thing from episode 1, the dinosaur camel, should just showed up and went with that thing with its nose, like, and like Jar Jar's like, like that should have been cut into every terrible scene in all the movies. It's that thing just farting.
Yeah. Well, okay, so sure,
but that guy, I don't know what happened. I think he got removed from the theater.
Probably.
But I was like, yeah, come on, man. Like, no, it sucks.
Look, we're almost there. Let's just
get through it, man. Let's get this over with. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I guess that elevated the movie a little bit for me. But so now he's telling him, you're going to do all this shit for me. He does Order 66.
Yep.
Which is like, the fuck is that?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's a bunch of little kids getting killed. It's a very
that's
weird
later,
scene.
Right. But this is where now you start to see all the Jedi get killed.
Yes. Yeah.
They start showing you all these Jedi get taken out,
and they go out like punks. It's terrible.
Most of them do. Yeah. They get overcome very easily by guys with guns out of nowhere now.
By stormtroopers who historically are not great shots.
Well, not the clones were though.
That's true. All right. Fair
Makes
point.
no sense.
However,
characters that out of nowhere. And again, it's like the same thing how those 3 Jedi get taken out so easily by Sidious.
Sure, yeah.
Just because the plot demanded it. It's like, no effort. No, just have fucking Mace show up by himself. It's like so stupid. It made the other ones look like it could have been done just a little better. You just like leap up real fast and fucking cut off all their heads.
So anything.
Like something like
right.
then it would be like, oh shit, and then Mace would have realized, oh fuck, well, like this is.
We talked before we recorded about the Conehead Jedi.
Yeah, Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Okay, he was taken out by like 4 clone troopers with rifles.
There were 6 there, I think.
Well, it was not an impressive array of troops.
And then there's like a bunch of other scenes, like the one guy gets shot out, and there's like the one Jedi, the woman on the speeder bike, and then the other one's just kind of like, hey, let's just back up a little and shoot her. She's just like, those Jedi don't they have like Jedi senses?
You would think.
Not like spider senses, but don't they have like a...
Yeah, because they sense disturbances in the Force.
You would think at that point they all should have sensed a disturbance, but... Because Yoda's the only one who picks up on it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's supposed to be the most powerful one, but you'd think all these ones have been raised since birth as Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. See, when you meet Luke, and he's like a Jedi by the time Return of the Jedi, but he's not really a Jedi. No. He never really... He's not... Luke we see, he's a Jedi by default by the end.
Yeah.
But, like, Jedis you learn are, like, taken in at, like, pretty much like the age of 3. Or whatever, and they're trained their whole life. So it's really stupid, and I know I'm starting to sound like the guy from The Simpsons complaining about the xylophone. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you mean to tell me that these Jedis that are raised since birth are supposed to be taken by a magical clone troopers?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So, whatever. They're all getting fucking killed now. And then Yoda's on Kashyyyk hanging out with fucking Chewbacca for some reason.
Yeah, right? Because that makes sense.
Yeah, Chewbacca and his band, all these other ones are dressed up in, like, warrior armor, and he's got his shitty bandolier from the last...
Yeah, because why not?
And he has his gun, too.
His bowcaster.
Yeah. That's so stupid. It's like Homer Simpson. He just wears the same outfit all the time.
But man, the bowcaster is an iconic weapon. That's such a great one.
What's funny about that is you don't ever really get to see that used properly until like episode 7.
Yeah.
When Han uses it. And he's like, oh, wow, this is really cool.
This is pretty cool.
Well, like, it's never like... Okay, so... And then that's the scene now where Anakin shows up at the temple.
Yep. Yeah.
With the clone troopers.
Right.
And he goes into the room with the little kids.
Yeah.
And they're like, Anakin, or whatever. They're like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck they say. I forgot what they say.
Yeah, that's a rough scene. I know it's like made up in fantasy and everything, but that's rough
That's pretty
scene.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I just love that they're called younglings, though. Which
right.
sounds like to me like chicken fingers or something.
Yeah, it does sound...
I'll have 6 younglings.
Right.
Or something, I guess that's this sounds gross. I don't want to... That's like something a pedophile would come up with.
Yeah.
Younglings.
Right. Anakin rolls in there.
I guess were the Jedi the Catholic Church?
I don't know.
Oh, but
you know what's great about 22-year-olds? There's 20 of them. There's 20.
Oh, God.
Well,
what the fuck?
It is a rough scene.
What? You and Anakin said that.
Yeah, you're very out of character for a Jedi.
Alright, well, this episode's done. I just peed my pants. Okay, so... Yeah, Anakin kills kids.
Yeah.
That's the movie. You watch 3 movies for Anakin to kill a bunch of children. Just so you know he's fucking evil.
It's a real...
Went into a room and murdered like 23-year-olds.
It's real definite. Not 23-year-olds, 23-year-olds.
Yeah, I got that.
It's a rough one. It's so... Jesus. All right.
Okay, so then like the Twilight girl gets killed.
Yeah.
Like the most pathetic way possible. The cosplay girl. Okay, so all the Jedi are getting taken out like it's nothing. And then Yoda like escapes with the 2 Chewbaccas.
Yeah.
Well, one of them was a different name. I think it was like Porkful or something. And I just love that scene when he gets in like his little pod to leave.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, Mr. Mouse Chewbacca." Right. I'm just like, oh yeah. Whenever I watched the original trilogy, I was always like, oh man, I wish they'd touch on that friendship that Yoda and Chewbacca had.
Right. It's yeah.
It's like I know they want to have Chewbacca in the movie, but it was done in the stupidest way possible.
It was. I mean, I could see them trying to tie all the world together. Look, they were running out of film. They needed to tie, the next three movies.
I need to have a Chewbacca toy in this series. Do you know that originally Han was supposed to be in it?
Oh,
They actually have actual sketches, like storyboarding.
Was he supposed? I guess
he was
in
the end of the movie, like when they're into the movie when Antilles, when they're on the ship.
Oh yeah.
With Jimmy Smits.
Yep, Bail Organa.
Yeah, and he's like on there, and he tells him wipe the droid's mind.
Wipe C-3PO's mind.
Han was supposed to be on the ship, like a 12-year-old Han.
Yeah,
and
I'm so glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
they were ready to go.
Yeah, they made it
might as well.
Yeah,
they had freaking baby Boba Fett. You might as well just have.
That's true.
I mean, why not have the baby Bosk?
Baby Fett,
baby Bosk, and it could be like Muppet babies, but
exactly,
like Boba babies, Boba babies.
That would have been that's a sequel. That's a side sequel.
It's a prequel.
Prequel. Well, I would have watched that probably.
Dengar's just covered in toilet paper.
IG-88 is like a Lego set or something.
Yeah, it's a hanger. It's a wire hanger.
All right, so that's it, right? Like they're coming up.
Order 66.
Obi-Wan's
warned as he's coming back from.
Yeah.
Hey, be careful.
Right.
Oh, he escaped.
Yeah.
Because they turned on him. He was one of the ones who escaped. They did Cody, whatever his name was, one of his friend, I guess. Cody, Commander Cody, they started shooting at him, and that's when that creature and him jumped in the water. I guess the creature died.
Well, Cody said, yes, my lord. They blasted him off the side of the cliff.
But he survived, and that's when he escaped, and he was told by, Yoda or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they go to the temple, him and Yoda, and they start taking out clone troopers.
Yeah.
There's a scene, you said you were watching deleted scenes.
Yeah.
Well, one of the scenes they cut out was the clone troopers were disguised as Jedis.
Oh, okay. I did see that,
They decided to just not do that. They were going to have them, when they show up, that they would think they were Jedis, and they were all clone troopers that were wearing, Jedi robes.
Right, yeah.
And, that's kind of cool, I guess, but...
Look, there's a lot... I love the idea of the Jedi scattering. Because that's one thing we were promised in kind of episode 4 is that, the Jedi were basically dying out, but there were a few left here and there. Ben was one of them. It was kind of this cool aftermath.
Well, I know, according to the movies, not according to other things where other Jedis do survive in the miniseries, and there's a couple of stragglers that live, and but in the movies, the only ones who lived, Obi-Wan and Yoda. They were the only Jedi left. Everyone was dead.
All right.
As far as the movies go, even though in the comics and recent stuff, even the stuff that after Disney purchases Star Wars, stuff that they consider in canon, but as a movie, they're the only two.
Okay. Yeah, no, I guess that makes sense.
And okay, so let's see. Kids get killed. Lucas' son Jedi gets killed. Yoda says goodbye to Chewbacca,
which was very poignant. We got a great scene coming up.
So then the next scene is Anakin showing up to Padme. I think after he killed everyone, and he's like, oh. She's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "Oh, everything's fine. I'm gonna go off to Mustafar. Everything's gonna be great going forward. Things are looking up.
Yeah,
everything's coming up, Anakin."
Right.
And then she's just crying or whatever. Oh, emotional.
Right.
With her pregnancy. Man.
She's really been a shell of the character.
She's eating pickles with ice cream.
Oh. Yeah, padding around, bare feet.
Yep. Okay, so let's see. And then the next scene, I guess she gets to leave the house, is when Emperor Palpatine now declares the Galactic Empire is off center. Everyone claps. And she goes, "That's when democracy dies."
Yeah.
With a thunderous applause.
Yeah, which is weird. I mean, That's a very weird scene, and that's the transition from Republic to Empire.
Right there.
This is the birth.
He
of the
basically
Empire.
makes the Jedi the enemy.
Yep.
You know, you're seeing that happening today in some ways.
Yeah, like
or attempts.
That's not like at all inaccurate because you see him saying like, well, the FBI is
well, the Nazis did. You know, the one thing that they said I was reading like the one thing Nazis did was they went after the socialists first and then the communists,
right,
and then they went after what everyone else, but. That was the first thing to take out was political parties that were like a threat in the House and Senate or whatever before they took over completely.
But like if you were
the Jedi are the one thing that are like this thing that exists that like keeps everyone kind of in line. So if you're like, well, I want to take fucking shit over, because the Jedi they were like the police of the Senate,
right?
In a way, they were. I mean, they kept peace and order among the Senate and everything. And then you got this guy coming in. He's like, well, what do I do? Oh, I'm going to say the Jedi are evil.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to believe me.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to say this hurricane's going to get Alabama. Well, anyway. But
so you
well,
that's a current event.
Yeah, the analogy here is that Trump is Palpatine.
Well, right? He wishes.
Yeah.
He's like dumb Palpatine. He's like a Palpatine was like just...
Sure.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Yoda fights. Okay. So that's where. Oh, so there was a cutscene that they removed, and it's kind of funny, but I saw it. It's like it's where the rebellion is formed, kind of. It's like they meet after, and that's where you're introduced to Mon Mothma.
Yeah, right.
What's funny is the actress they got to play her. I guess they felt bad with her. They rehired her, and she played Mon Mothma in Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy Smith shows back up too as Bail Organa.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta go home now. My planet's gonna explode in like a couple of days.
I know people have problems with Rogue One, but one of my favorite parts of Rogue One was the last 3 minutes, which lead...
When everyone died?
Well, no, it leads directly into...
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
A New Hope. I mean, it was like...
It was like... what I think the reason why people love Rogue One, because it's funny, like, I personally, I'm not... I don't...
Sure.
It's not my favorite. I don't hate it. I appreciate it for what it is. I mean, if you're looking at, like... If you're going to compare movies, it's like it's kind of like what everyone wanted the prequels to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
They wanted the prequels to be that.
Man, could you imagine Rogue One as the prequel? People would have flipped. That would have been amazing.
Back then, you mean?
Yeah, like if like, hey, we're going to do one prequel. Here it is. It's called Rogue One.
I think you wouldn't have seen the Anakin change. It would have been...
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm just saying tonality and how it felt, and it's like how they were able to make it look like Star Wars. Like that's one thing that Rogue One did succeed was it. Like, yeah, obviously the effects are better, obviously, but it's like they were able to like kind of it feels like it fits in that universe. You can watch it. I mean, except for some of the weird, dodgy CGI with fake Peter Cushing.
Yeah. And, that I did not like that, but yes,
the heinous Carrie Fisher in the end.
Right.
But if they just stopped that like 1 second earlier, it would have been fine.
Same with the Peter Cushing. Yeah,
Peter Cushing didn't mind. I didn't mind that much. I think since he's such a wrinkly old man to begin with, that it's true. Like it's not that bad. It's like when you start dealing with like smooth, like real facial. Like, it's like I noticed that too as an artist drawing. It's like a young woman is a lot harder to draw.
Yeah.
To make distinct looking and make distinct faces than to draw an old man, because
that's funny. I can see that.
The wrinkles are forgiving. It's
so
like, you fuck up and it still look pretty decent. But if you screw up, make the nose, it's like a drop too big in one area or whatever. It's the whole face gets fucked up.
Oh, that's funny. That makes a lot of sense.
So I could see like they should have when you see her in the back of the head and she kind of just turns. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Should have left it at that.
Right. All right. Yeah.
Okay. So. All right. So then we go to. Let's see what happens next. Oh, he goes to Mustafar to kill the Separatists. That was the thing. General Grievous sends all the... General Grievous told to send all the Separatists.
Yes.
They were all pawns. They're being sent to Mustafar. And then, Palpatine's like, I'm sending my new apprentice there.
Right.
He'll take care of them. And he's like, okay, go for it.
Yeah.
He's going to fucking kill them all.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all big... I mean, the whole Clone Wars was just a scam to get... It was just one big scheme to get Emperor.
Yeah, and it was so many people dead. It was just like a epically...
Well, it's like, you ever Shock and Awe?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what it was. A sci-fi shock and awe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's done, like, there's different things throughout history that are shock and awe. Like, one of the biggest ones, like, Chile, 1973,
the
I think it was.
Pinochet
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
like, that's considered
Right.
shock and awe.
Yeah, I can see.
They even said shock and awe when we fucking bombed Iraq. They
Yeah.
used that dialogue, shock and awe. It's like,
Yeah.
That's not, like, you shouldn't use that. That's used as, like, a negative. It's a negative.
Right. Yeah,
like,
it's not
like, people consider 9/11 a shock and awe situation.
I can see
Shock
that,
and
yeah.
awe is where something drastic happens, and then it makes it easy for someone to come in and make drastic changes behind the scenes
Right.
because everyone is
Distracted.
distressed. They don't know what to do. So you got the galaxy is falling apart.
Wow.
Now I can just come in, the Empire, I'm gonna bring order, everything. The war is over.
But they wind up on this planet, and it looks like hell. I mean, right?
Mustafar. Well, the funny thing is that we get to Mustafar, and the funny thing about Mustafar was that there was a treatment that leaked years ago of Anakin fighting Obi-Wan on a lava planet.
Okay, yeah. Well, I remember reading about this when I was a little kid.
Yeah, it came out shortly after Return of the Jedi. So,
Yeah.
And they actually were going to have Return of the Jedi take place on a lava planet originally.
I heard this too,
Like
yeah.
the Emperor was like in a cave, and that's when David Lynch was going to direct it.
Oh, man, that would have been awesome. Right.
So, yeah, this is where the big scene happens now. Obi-Wan goes, confronts him. Oh, Padme follows, of course.
Yeah.
And then Anakin chokes her. Force chokes her.
Yeah.
Because he's an idiot. And then Obi-Wan fights him. And the fight goes on for like 30 minutes.
Right.
My favorite part is when they facing each other and they're both swinging lightsabers in front of each other. I'm like,
Yeah, and it looks like a video game. I mean,
this is stupid.
Right.
It's like I want to see this fight so bad.
Well, this is what it was all leading up to.
Right.
I mean,
Well, it was. It was all about this is it. And then and then the fight was like it was okay. But the thing that I love, this was a surprise to me. Of course, everything leaks. I see toys leak before. That Yoda was going to confront Sidious.
Right.
And
Okay. Yeah.
It's like it didn't have to happen.
Right.
It doesn't fit into the story. We know that Sidious isn't going to die.
Yeah.
We know Yoda isn't going to die, but it was still pretty cool scene.
It was cool. Yeah.
I think he's like throwing those like Senate pods at him.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I like when Yoda walks in at first, and he's like those the red guards. They're so useless. They do nothing, and then he just knocks him out completely first, and then he's like, "My little green friend," and they like fight each other, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, like a lot of stuff is happening towards the end, and you can feel like the momentum building, and you kind of already know what's going to happen.
Okay, but the dumbest thing out of the Yoda fight was, okay, so Emperor knocks him over, he falls, and he's like, I gotta go now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna survive, gotta go now.
Yeah.
And then, like, Bail Organa magically finds him, and he drops down into his little... It's so funny. It's like the great if he had, like, a baby seat in front of his car. And he's like, go into exile, I must now.
Yeah.
And Bail will be like, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's funny because
I kind of wish you would.
Oh no, you can see all the seeds of the original trilogy being planted here.
I just wish
nice.
like Palpatine fucked him up more.
Yeah,
and that's why he had to go into exile because he was fucked up. Like he was like in a coma or something. I don't know.
Yoda
like,
saw the writing on the wall. You know, like the entire Jedi Order was decimated. He's like, I got to get out of here.
He could have gotten there.
Yeah.
They could have figured something out. That's a bunch of bullshit. They'll cop out. Oh, I'll just go hide on a small planet, wait for some young kid to show up and trick him into doing my job.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go chill in a bog. So now Obi-Wan's fighting Anakin.
Yep.
And it goes on for a very long time. And
now
they're on the lava carts or whatever, floating, and then like Anakin jumps off, and then Obi-Wan jumps off, and Anakin's on there, and that's when they have their conversation, and Obi-Wan's like, I got the high ground.
Yeah.
And Anakin's like, you don't know my new power, or something like that, and Anakin, like a moron, leaps at him, and somehow Obi-Wan hacks off his arm, his real arm, not the robot arm, and his 2 legs.
It is a Knights from Knee moment.
It is ridiculous. I don't know how he did it. He like flipped midair, and Obi-Wan just went, like flip, and then somehow hacked off his limbs.
Right.
And then they have this conversation, and he's like, "You're the chosen one. I loved you." And Anakin's like, which I don't blame at this point.
Sure.
I mean, you did.
He's half the man he used to be.
Yeah. But he did kill some fucking younglings. So.
Yeah. Right.
And he says that. That's great too when they're in the Jedi Temple. And when they're looking at the security footage, and Yoda's like, "Look, you might not want to because it will be bad." Whatever the fuck he says in Yoda talk. And then he sees the video of just like Anakin killing people, and then like Obi-Wan has to like say the word younglings, and you can just see in the actor's face he's trying not to crack up. Like, why can't you just say children?
Right.
Then he killed the fingerlings, the younglings, the chickadees.
Yeah, well,
it's like a worse name for.
So Obi-Wan slices and dices.
He basically just leaves him at a fry, because then like his pants, literally his stumps catch on fire from the lava,
right?
And then he ends up igniting in flames, and he's like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan's like,
later,
dude.
Yeah,
sucks to suck.
Right. He's out of there.
Later, Gator.
And he feels bad. You can tell Obi-Wan's kind of torn up over it, but he leaves.
Yeah, he's like, man.
Yeah.
I hated you from the start.
Right. Well, look, Anakin at that point had done terrible things.
Yes, this is a couple of bad things. You know, betray the Jedi Order, let the rise of intergalactic fascism and the death of younglings.
All of that, you know.
So then, so now he finds Padme, she's not doing good.
No.
Got to get her to a planet.
Yep.
He gets coordinates from Yoda. They go to like a weird little moon thing.
Yeah.
Moon hospital. Kind of like the cafe that Barf and Lone Star go to.
Yeah.
Near the Spaceballs.
Right,
it's some offshoot thing.
Actually, not that dissimilar. But yeah, okay.
Or she ordered the special.
What she's having.
So that's when the dumbest line in all.
Okay.
She lost the will to live.
Yeah.
She's like in childbirth. First of all, it's the most insane childbirth.
It is.
Where she has this like weird dome. I'm like, do they know how kids are born? I thought like it'd be kind of funny. Like I don't know how your wife was, but like my wife, like she was pregnant with my son. She was like watching all these fucking documentaries about like natural births and all this shit, and like all this like propaganda about like having her birth in a hospital. I mean, I get it.
Right.
I think sometimes hospitals they're too C-section happy.
Oh yeah.
But like, oh my god, she was going down that rabbit hole. And it'd be funny if I'm watching a documentary if they show the clip from episode 3 and Padme like in that weird cone giving birth. Like, look what they're doing in corporate run hospitals. Do you want to have a kid like this intergalactic princess? No, you don't. Because she's dead.
Well, it was weird. She like lost the will to live. And the real thing is like, look, clearly Natalie Portman's character had become disposable like by the end of episode 2.
Yeah.
She limped across the finish line in episode 3, and then they just sort of gave her this really shitty ending.
I just like the robot though with like this weird scoop.
Yeah.
Scoop, and he's like, robot, and she's like, ah, and everyone's like, a little distress, and this robot with it's like this weird cup. Like, I'm gonna go into your
like
lady
playing
part,
highlight
and I'm
something.
just scoop out this baby.
Yeah.
Here comes one. She's like, look, what? Look, yeah. I think she was meaning to say other things, but
sure. But then she died.
Yeah. And then she died of a
broken heart.
She lost the will to live.
Well,
and then in that same scene, she's giving birth. Melted Anakin,
right?
Who's not even congealed yet.
No,
is getting CG. You would think you'd wait a little while. Wait till you gotta like
pull aloe.
Does that metal get a hold onto that loose flesh?
Loose.
Like
come on down to Roseanne's loose flesh tip. So they don't even let him cool down, and they start putting the suit on him.
Yep, and as she's giving birth and dying, he gets the mask. That is the best scene. That's exactly how I wanted it to happen. I wanted the mask to go on his face, and you see him looking at it with the eye holes.
Yeah.
They nailed that.
Perfect. Yeah, because you've always wondered, what does he see? You know, what is...
Well, it's just like the light. And
Yeah.
it's like the light closing down
Diminishes.
on him, and now he's in the mask, and it's like... And then, like...
The breathing.
And then the breathing.
Yeah.
And then, the best part in movie history.
Right. He comes out.
He gets up. Well, and Sidious is there in the corner, standing next to him, and he's like, rise, or something like that. And he's like, what happened to Padme?
Right.
And Sidious like, it looks like you killed her in your anger or something. I don't know, even though he's like lying to him. And then that's when he's like, no, it can't be, it's impossible. And then he like breaks out of the...
Yeah, like Frankenstein's
which
monster.
is exactly how he says that. That was intentional.
Yeah.
But why? It looks so stupid. It's like,
it does.
Okay, I get it. You're doing something, but you're visualizing something from a movie from the 30s.
Yep.
Again, get over your fucking childhood.
Right.
You're making movies for people that know your fucking audience. People are not...
Lucas thinks they're archetypes. Lucas thinks that there are some symbols and images that transcend time. I disagree, but that's... I know that's what he thinks.
You know what? It looked corny as fuck.
Yeah.
When he breaks out and he's like, right. The mask is like big. I don't know.
And he's like,
weird.
do not want.
No, okay, so that's actually the best part. Is when, you know, I don't know what Sidious says, and then Darth Vader just goes, no! And it literally is turned into like the worst Tales of the Crypt episode. It really is. It's like he's like, you know, where he sells his soul to the devil. It's like the shittiest Twilight Zone ending. It's the shittiest Tales of the Crypt ending. It's like with him just going no, and then like the credits roll or something.
Well, it ends on like, look, it ends with Anakin still being Anakin. Like, he's still a good guy. He's very sad about his genocide. Good. Well, like him saying he
only cared about Padme, and Sidious told him that
he killed
her, and the whole point of everything he did was so he was like a fucking idiot.
Failed at that.
And now he's a fucking robot man, and he's congealing inside of the suit. Like, he's like, ugh.
He's probably got one of those
smells so bad.
Little pizza things like on top of his helmet.
Probably smells like shit barbecue. Like a stove that needs to be cleaned really bad. You know, it's just like, what's that?
I just think the Emperor probably, you know, those little things they put on a pizza to like keep it from sticking to the box.
Oh, you talking about that little plastic thing?
Yeah,
they
probably put like on his helmet.
Yeah, he has a couple of them. Just to keep sure.
Right. Well,
why do you have this on me? To make sure that your face doesn't get stuck.
To ensure a tip. Well,
I mean,
that's how it had to end. I guess that's
fine.
Again,
but the no thing was so corny.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, I don't think they knew how to end it. I mean, they knew how they were supposed to end it.
The ending was written.
They have to end it like that. So then you go to the funeral of Amidala.
Yeah,
and it's sad.
Very sad.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, it is actually. It's really well done, that scene. It's beautiful. She looks great in her. A great corpse.
Yes.
And you got to see Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And Boss Nass. It was weird that Boss Nass went, Jar Jar went, oh, Misa. And then that thing showed up and went,
and then Jar Jar stepped in it.
Yeah. Pull.
Well, it was a very sad scene. And they did it very well.
And then Watto popped up and went,
Jesus.
That's all, folks.
Yeah. I thought you were going to do Tweaky from the Buck Rogers, the beady. No, but...
I want to keep it in world.
Keep it in world.
Yeah.
It was a very well done
Okay,
scene.
and then Yoda tells Yoda is like, good news. I talked to someone from the other side. Your old friend, Qui-Gon Jinn. And Obi-Wan's like, really?
Yeah.
I'd be like, what?
Right.
Okay. If you sit in exile, you'll get to turn into a weird ghost.
Well,
cool.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a real poignant scene because Ben is going to go into exile.
Yep.
Ben's going to go off to a fucking desert planet.
Yep.
And Yoda's going to go off to Dagobah. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's sad. Like They're all leaving.
They're done. It's like, so they're like, what are we gonna do with the kids? And then like, I like how Jimmy Smith's like calls it quickly. He's like, well, my wife's always wanted a girl.
Yeah. I'll take this one.
I'll take this one. You take that
Yeah.
shitty kid and let him live on a desert planet with his shitty uncle. Okay, so then literally you finally get to see Alderaan for like a second.
Yep.
And like I said, I wasn't kidding. I said that is Spaceballs.
Yeah.
It really, I mean,
Planet
it's like
Spaceball.
sci-fi, but man, if you're telling me that Planet Druidia did not inspire Alderaan in episode 3.
Yeah, no, I'll buy that.
I guarantee you people will work on it. Like, let's make it, we're going to make it look like cool.
I'm sure. It's Druidia.
But it's Druidia.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Dick Van Patten's there. And like,
but
what's his face? Still waiting. Hey,
oh, yeah, Prince Valiant.
Where did you go? That old man that wants to finally... Okay, we got to make these people married already.
But it's kind of like a cool ending. I look, the ending of this, and not just because it was over, but the ending I think worked pretty well.
It all works out perfectly.
Yes.
Like even when you're like on the blockade runner, even though it takes place 18 years before, but that exact blockade runner.
Yeah,
and he's like tells wipe the protocol droid's mind, and C-3PO was like, what? And like that's kind of funny, but
it answers the question that people had been having, like how come
I figured that was always the case. I'm glad they
did
put it in there, and they just put it in some fucking comic 2 years later. Like, look, you see?
Yeah.
No, it's got to be in the fucking movie.
C-3PO accidentally walked near a magnet. You know, it's like.
Yeah, he's a VH.
He's a VH. He's a Taz.
Someone put a rolled a magnet over his head. So then fun little fact.
Yeah.
In that last scene of the movie was actually shot during episode 2.
I read this.
Because they didn't bring the actors back who played Beru and
Owen.
So, okay. We're going to end this soon, but I got a couple of funny little quips about this movie. First of all, my other big fucking complaint about this movie. Now, yes, they had to make sure that this movie took place like 18 to 20 years before episode 4.
Yes.
You have Luke as a baby, and you have Luke
as a young man.
Late teenager.
Yeah.
And about to become a man. It's being bar mitzvah.
Right.
A werewolf bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
Spooky, scary.
Yeah.
And so I get that, but I think the problem these movies fucked up was they casted everybody too young. Obi-Wan, like, it's fine, you get still Jim McGregor, but he should have been like I remember getting this comic. I got an old, like the original Star Wars series.
Okay.
From Marvel.
Yeah, from back in the day.
And they did this awesome issue where it took place in the Clone Wars. It was a flashback issue.
Oh, okay.
And Obi-Wan's a general. And it's pretty cool.
Like,
it's cheesy, but it was just cool to have something like that. Like that's
absolutely,
It's the closest thing you got to the Clone Wars. It was this one comic. But Obi-Wan is like in his 50s.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense.
It does.
If you go by the timeline.
Right.
And it's like I never pictured Darth Vader as, let's say, by the time you get to like episode 4, he's like 40.
Right.
I mean, like, I never pictured Darth Vader. I always pictured Darth Vader as a much older character.
Me too, yeah.
Like, well into his 50s, at least. Like, everyone's, like, 10, 15 years too young. It's like Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. They're literally fucking teenagers. They don't have any, like...
Yeah, they should already be in their 30s or something.
Like, someone made a joke and said, like, about living on a desert planet. They showed a picture of Beru from episode 2, and then Beru from episode 4, and it's like... what the fuck happened? No, like 18 years later. Meth. That's the problem. That explains everything. Death sticks, man. Meth sticks. Death sticks. Yeah, they. This is how you tie in Breaking Bad into the Star Wars series. It's that blue. What was that song?
Blue Crystal.
But they had a song playing in Breaking Bad with.
I don't remember that one. Yeah.
Okay. So, other problem with these movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so Obi-Wan and Yoda wear outfits in the trilogy.
Right.
Obi-Wan is in hiding.
Yep.
He's wearing his pajamas.
In his Jedi gear. Yeah.
Why? Okay, this is stupid complaint. That's the biggest problem with the prequels. Why would you be forced to design everything? That's why I hated episode 2 when we showed up. It was just a sea of brown robes.
Yeah.
Like I had a brown robe when I was a kid. Wasn't it?
Oh, sure.
It was just a brown robe.
Yep.
And that's what it looked like to me. It's like everyone's just wearing this shitty JCPenney's brown robe. Everyone's wearing it's like the stupidest thing. Like first of all, if you're in hiding, you wouldn't wear your like if you're a priest on the run.
Yeah.
For
whatever
that thing you said earlier. You probably would take off your little thing.
Right, your
you would
thing,
probably do all other things. Or I guess actually they would just move you to a different city, like which is what the Catholic Church would do. So never mind. That's a horrible analogy. But anyway. Say if you're on a run, you would if you had a beard. Let's say you committed a crime. The first thing you do is shave your beard.
Right.
And you cut off your hair.
Yeah.
You'd probably dye it. Wear some shades.
Wear different types of clothing.
Yeah. If you were like a cop on the run, you wouldn't stay in your cop uniform.
No.
It's like it was like always going to dump. Like why did they felt compelled? The audience would only be able to accept these new movies if they wore something exactly. Now you could have had them wearing something similar, but like, I mean, the fucking same.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
It's just a stupid little detail. I mean, I don't know. That's where they failed. They could have been a little more creative and come up with like. Yeah. It's kind of silly. Again, I know it's fantasy.
Right.
But, yeah, it's like I said. It's like the car driving by in the background in episode 3 when Anakin's blown up.
Yeah.
It makes no fucking difference to him.
Right.
It's like, it's a terrible analogy. I know some people, there's these people that have this theory. It like play, I mean, I think it's just laziness on their part. But there are these people who have this theory, like, it doesn't matter who runs what, you still have to go to work, you still have to do this, and it's like, that's not true all the time.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
And it shouldn't have been true during those circumstances. But I don't know. It's funny because like talking about it, I like episode 3 more than I did after watching it again.
I'll say after watching it, really watching it this time. Like I mean, I'm like doing work. I'm like I don't need to see these movies but when we said we were going to talk about, it, I'm like I want to watch this now with a like more critical eye. Like the flaws and like what
they're amplified.
They're just like amplified, and I'm like these are just not good movies, and like the acting is just like I said, it's like I said, the ones that are established they're fine. McDermott nails every scene.
Ian McGregor's good.
Ian McGregor's fine.
Jimmy Smits for his 3 minutes of film. He's very good.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
Amidala's completely wasted. I just think it's like the problem with these I think the problem with these prequels is you had the hardest task, and this is where they failed miserably, was how do you make Anakin and Amidala, the parents of Luke and Leia, these compelling characters? They're not in the original trilogy. I mean, Anakin technically is in the original trilogy because he's there the whole time.
But not the character.
But the character of Anakin and his journey, how he got there, that's the failure.
Yeah.
That's the miserable failure. It's like you just...
It is.
I mean,
you're right.
Did they set it up and it ends in a perfect way leading right to episode 4?
It did.
Sure.
Yep.
It did its job. It sped up the motion. Okay, now we put him here, wipe his memory, do that, you go there, I go here. Okay, Oomba, let's bury this.
Plot points met.
And then they even show the Death Star getting built.
Yeah.
And then, like... I always like again, it's like they make the guy playing Thrawn. You see, not Thrawn, Moff Tarkin.
Right. Yeah.
You see him for a second, and the actor they casted this guy who was from a show called Farscape.
Yeah.
And they made a big deal. And I thought he was gonna be in the movie more.
Yeah, I did.
No,
too.
he's just not seeing the background. He's just looking, and he's like, he walks away.
Right.
And it's just Darth Vader looking. And I always like though, like when Rogue One, like. Yeah, I like again. They have to like make up for like. Well, they were building the fucking thing in the end of episode 3. How come we don't have it ready in Rogue One? But they said they hit some snags.
Yeah, they do a good job with with a lot of the little things they do.
We hit some snags.
Yeah,
I think probably because we killed all those bugs. That's the thing. You find out. I don't know if it was in Clone Wars or was it in episode 3. You basically find out they exterminated that whole race.
Right.
That created the Geonosians were completely exterminated.
I know that. I don't know where I know that.
I don't know if it was in the Clone Wars. It might have been in the Clone Wars.
Right.
but that's a good little detail. Like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't have killed that race that knows how to make a giant hive in the middle of the galaxy.
Yeah, which we'll kind of need.
Oopsie poopsie.
Yeah.
Oops. So I guess we'll watch episode 4 next.
Right. Well, next week we have the Democratic debates coming up.
The next Democratic debates.
Right.
Only 10 people this time.
Right. That'll be nice.
The creme de la creme.
Well,
and Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah, right. 9/10 of the... So, but we have... Yeah, we'll do episode 4 will be the next one, which...
Yeah, maybe we'll wait. I don't know. We'll see if anything else comes up.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be the next one sequential.
Oh, yes,
the next
we're going to go with
Wars...
sequential. Yeah, I don't know when we're going to do it. Maybe within less than a month. But yeah, we're going to do Star Wars, New Hope.
That will be... Well, and it's funny because A New Hope resonates a lot more after the first 3 because this is A New Hope. It's like a great Star Wars movie. It's a great Star Wars movie.
Some would say it's the best one.
Some would say it's the best.
Some would say it's weird how the 4th one came out first.
Yeah.
I always found that bizarre.
That is weird. It's
even though they didn't call it 4 until like after Empire came out or something.
Well, you told me that. I would have sworn they said 4th initially. You looked it up, and then I looked it up.
Supposedly it was not in the original. Maybe in like the re-release or like...
Yes. I think, look, if anyone wants to argue that Empire Strikes Back is the best one, I'm on board with that. It probably is the best one, but man, Star Wars is the reason
why we're here.
It is. It's the reason why I love movies, frankly. I mean, that's the first movie I saw where I'm like, this is... I can't believe there's my life before.
And then the prequels came and said, this is the reason why I hate movies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Again, if I were to sum up the prequels, I would have a farting. What is he, like a dinosaur camel?
Kind of, yeah, like a dino camel.
And he goes,
right.
And he's like, blah, 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 and then Jar Jar going, Pluto, and then it just ends.
That's it.
And then
that's it in a nutshell.
Or like Anakin or Obi-Wan gives the baby to Brew,
right?
And then he immediately steps in cow shit.
Yeah, and says,
"This
is where it gets fun.
This is where the fun ends."
All right.
Well, he says, because sometimes they say when you step in shit, you're gonna have good luck.
Right.
He'll say, "Oh, this is actually a good sign."
Right.
I mean, it's gonna take a while.
Right.
But it's a good thing. Or a bird comes and takes a shit on him.
Yeah.
And sometimes they say that's a good, like I don't know.
I've heard that's a good thing.
I think they say that just to make you feel better that you just stepped in feces or had feces dropped on you.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
It's never a good thing.
No. Okay. Well, I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
And you still going on about
that.
Thank you for listening to You Still Going On About That with myself, Rob Israel, and Joseph K. Remember, you can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, CastBox, and Podbean. So remember to like and subscribe, share, comment, leave us a basket of fruit or candy. Thank you for listening. All right, later. Bye.
All right, we're go.